What up, y'all? How's it going? Good to see you. Just getting set up here with the new stream and the new computer and everything, so I hope we're working and we're up and running. I kind of threw this together bare bones style here, so hopefully we all right. Make sure.
What up, y'all?
Yeah, all right. Good to see you guys. Another Monday. Just got up here. We got a lot going on. Braun Strowman getting his third title shot in a week. Another shot against AJ Styles tonight for the U.S. title. We got that going on. Sasha and Natalya, a couple of King of the Ring matches, and maybe something else. That's all I know about us in terms of Raw tonight. But I'm going to go over here to the chat style here and say hello to everybody. We all right. How's it going? Nice. Chaz, Addicted, Reese, excuse me, down nice. All right, good to see you guys. Bruce, another Monday. We got some mods in here. Just got up. Billy, Mark, Braun Strowman getting his third title shot in Black a week. Mask, another shot against AJ Styles. We'll see how it goes. Last week was pretty fun. Good audience in here, even though it was just a kind of so-so Raw. Sasha and Natalya. Couple of King of the Ring matches. Hopefully we'll have the same tonight. And maybe something else. I did get my new computer in that I've been trying to upgrade everything just a couple of days ago, so I'm still kind of configuring it. So I did have to everybody together the live stream. How's it going? I don't know if it's going to be better or worse or what. Reese. Apparently the computer I bought is 10 times stronger. Another Monday. So I should be good to go, but I don't know. It still looks a little shady here. So let me know pros, cons with the audio or video or anything like that. Last week was pretty fun because this is kind of an experiment tonight. So hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties or anything that I overlooked. Couple of King of the Ring matches as far as setting this thing up. I did get my new computer in that I've been trying to upgrade everything just a couple of days ago, so I'm still kind of configuring it. So I did have New Orleans tonight on the live stream. How's it going? I don't know if it's going to be better or worse or what. Reese. Apparently the computer I bought is 10 times stronger than what I need. Two voices, so I should be good to go. But I don't know. It still looks a little figure this out here. So let me know pros, cons with the audio or video or anything like that. Last week was pretty fun. Because what about that?
Live stream. How's it going? It's gonna be better or worse.
Trying to figure this out, y'all. That should do it. I'm really sorry about this.
What about that?
We working?
Trying to figure this out, y'all.
I think we're okay.
That should do it.
Okay. All it was, I had my
I'm really sorry about this.
the webcam mic was turned on, along with this mic. They were both on.
We working?
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, sorry about that. See, that's why we're in an experimental phase, stage, and I'm missing Sasha Banks' entrance. She's kicking things off tonight. Let me turn that off. Okay. I think I fixed it, y'all. Hey, now I got a cat fucking around down here. Get out of here. All right, we should be good. I hope. I thought about just going with the old machine tonight, but I was like, no, I can put this together in time. And yeah, I knew there would be one hiccup, but that's okay. It happens. Better a live stream than a Winged Eagle podcast, you know? I'd rather work out the kinks now. Let me go back over here and make sure y'all are cool. Okay. And that's why I cannot wrap my head around the fact that yeah, sometimes I'll turn my own volume up over here so I can try to hear myself, but that's why I should wear headphones. I just hate wearing headphones. They always fall off me, so I don't like it. Cool. I think we're good. I think we're working now. Last week I looked in the mirror and I also have Raw on different speakers than I normally do, so the audio hopefully will not be too loud for you guys, and it won't get picked up or anything. What's up, Angie? I was not aware of Stone Cold appearing tonight, C-Mac. Maybe he's another via satellite thing. All right, I think we're good. I also got YouTube set up in dark mode. That way, the last week we were trying to experiment a little bit too, and the light was really bright in my face. So I think I've kind of fixed that for the most part here. Yeah, I'm guessing this is going to be the Clash match, correct? Since they're doing Natalya and Sasha tonight, and I had pitched the idea of Natalya going heel. Oh, MSG Raw for Stone Cold. Okay. Oh, that's good. Nice. Is it going to be another like Raw reunion show, or are they just bringing him in? I'm excited for them to be back at the Garden. I miss the days of them doing that. Glad that they're going back. All right, you got a lot of promo here, so I don't know when we're gonna get this match started. Is she cutting a promo or is she working? Are you in your gear, girl? I can't even tell. I'm going to turn the mic volume down a little bit, too. See if that helps. All right, so we're getting a promo from Sasha first. I thought this was going to be the match, so cool. It's good to see you, chat site. Sorry I missed your super chat on the podcast the other day. I think I missed 2 of them. Real sorry about that.
Everybody wants to know why.
I don't want to know why. I don't care why. I'm just glad you're back.
Everybody wants to know why. And where's Sasha Banks been, huh? For 4 months. 4 months I've been gone. Out of sight.
I know, I feel bad for Moxley, too. That sucks. We got All Out this Saturday. I'll be live streaming my reaction to that, by the way.
Sasha Banks, Sasha Banks, Sasha Banks, Sasha Banks.
Hasn't she already kind of explained herself? Yeah, Sasha's got quite the tan. Well, it's summertime.
Sasha Banks. How's Sasha Banks?
I pitched Natalya going heel last week. I was like, why not? Have her cost Becky the title.
How's Sasha
If you remember, Natalya tried to play nice at SummerSlam, and Becky was like, oh, no, F off, and was kind of a bitch to her. So maybe she's going to get revenge and screw her, but maybe not.
her ball and she went home. Yeah, damn right. I did. And not for reasons that you may think. You see, I was relegated to
No, I'm not aware of what Bayley did driving through a flooded street. No. I've kind of been off social media for the last day or so, even though I've been home. I wasn't really checking shit out yesterday, so I didn't see that.
Well, Becky Lynch got to main event WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey. So you're right. I took my ball and I went home, and I went on a couple amazing.
I don't know, I'm liking this new Sasha.
My WrestleMania paycheck, which a paycheck that Becky Lynch got way more money than I did for main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah, some might find it boring,
I came back,
but how is this worse than what she was doing before? This is definitely a step up.
but I had a plan.
New attitude, title shot, beating the shit out of people.
Perfect.
What would you have rather had her come back and do?
And there she was.
Team with Bayley again and
Good old
cry in the locker room?
Natalya.
No, I'd prefer this.
Poor, innocent, one-armed friend. You see, I came out here 2 weeks ago, gave her a big old hug, and I lied straight to her face and I said, "Your daddy would be so proud of you."
More of that Neidhart calling out.
And look who came to save the day, right on cue, Becky Lynch.
I agree totally, Down Ice. I would think if they're going to,
Happened to her.
with Moxley, provided he can recuperate in time, which he should,
Center
you can move that match to the first TNT show, Mox and Omega, totally. That's likely what they'll
You
do.
want to know why?
I hope so.
Because I am the standard of this women's division. I've been running this women's division since day one.
You have?
I am the boss.
I don't think so, boss.
Because I am the top.
What's that girl with blonde hair? Think she's a daughter of some wrestler,
All this.
some old guy from the 70s and 80s. She's pretty good too.
So as far as
Oh, great, Natalya. Well, for those of you who thought you just saw a boring promo from Natalya, or from Sasha, you might, oh no, they're just going to brawl. I was about to say, wait till Natty picks up the mic, and then tell me who's boring. But this is better, they're fighting.
payback from Natty.
This thing is heated up in a hurry. It's become so
Well, I mean, Sasha really does have 2 issues going on. She's got one with Natalya and one with Becky. So they're going to do Natalya first. Ooh. And it would be hard to make the Natalya heel turn make sense, but this sure would be a shocker here if these girls are trying to pull each other's eyeballs out. And then at the Clash, Natalya comes out, seemingly to maybe help Becky, and then turns. Look for it. It's possible. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. I'm like, yeah, well, they'll make it make sense the next night. They'll just say, it was a ruse, or they'll make some shit up. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure with Braun if it's going to be a full-fledged Braun turning on Rollins or if it's just going to be the two of them not being able to get along and neither one of them necessarily turning. Do we want to turn Braun again? I mean, we all fear of this Big Show 2.0 character with him, and if he turns anymore, I mean, he's already way too close to that neighborhood than I would like him to be. So I'd rather not keep turning him over and over again, but I don't know. All right, well, we just had a pull apart there. I'm guessing this match is still happening later, right? Or if they going to call it off. All right.
These aren't your average squirt some sauce on them and call them.
All right, well, it's good to be here, man. It's been a week, dudes. God, for real. I was actually looking forward to tonight for the last couple of days because work has been murdering me. This is the meatiest time of the year for me in terms of how much I'm working. And so my job is really occupying a lot. I'm 6 days a week right now. It's pretty nerve-wracking, but it's almost over. After Labor Day, things really quiet down. So I apologize for maybe not having as much content up. I haven't done a mic dropper this day in history in a couple of weeks since August 9th with the Jericho one. So that'll get back on track. I got one really fun this day in history planned for September. I'll try to come up with a couple of more. This week I'll be up here on Friday for the Winged Eagle. We'll talk about all the weeks of TV, the news. We'll preview and predict All Out, and I'll be up here Saturday night watching and reacting to All Out. And then, of course, 2 days after that will be a week from tonight, and I'll be up here for Raw again. So you will get me a lot this week, but some of the little in-between smaller videos that I'm really good at getting up, probably I won't get any of that up this week unless I just have a burst of motivation or something like that. So yeah, just keep a lookout for all of that. Also, I want to thank all of the new subscribers. I don't know if some of you are in here right now. Probably not really low audience in here right now. Only 150 people. Smash that thumbs up for me. The subs have just been flying in. Well, great last few weeks on the channel. I feel like we're getting back to the numbers that we used to have pretty consistently as far as how many people are coming in and new subs and views and shit like that. So pulled in a lot in the last couple of weeks and a steady stream of a few dozen new subs per day. So that's awesome. So if you're new, thank you. And you will enjoy what you see here, I promise. I'm up here all the time. And I've recently upgraded my entire hub here. Now I just got to tweak it, customize it, get it right. So we've got new webcams. We got two dueling desktop computers under here now. So I'm prepared to launch a shuttle to the fucking moon. So we should not have any technical difficulties or anything like that because I have backups and I have backups of backups. And this channel should run smoothly and efficiently for quite some time. I'm excited about it. And things will continue to get better, especially the podcasts. I got to get better about a couple of things. I did not like last week's episode. I rushed myself. I had to go to work. There's certain things that if I know it's going to be a busy week, I need to adjust accordingly. And I've even making a couple of notes. Okay, stop doing this, do this better, don't do this, shit like that. So the podcast will continue to improve now that I'm into the live format because the live format saves me a shitload of time, y'all. I'm serious. So it's got to be mostly done this way, probably 90% of the time, just for me to keep my sanity and for me to be able to produce other videos for the channel. Otherwise, it's just going to be too time-consuming. So I'm liking the changes. It's just I got to keep improving on them. So thank you to everybody for your patience. Appreciate it. You guys have been awesome. Rajiv, I don't know. If I was a wrestler, what my name or gimmick would be, I don't know. I don't even think I've ever thought about it. Oh, the Street Profits. Where are your belts?
Yeah, I know, man. I can't wait for the match later tonight. The boss back in action for the first time since WrestleMania.
I'm still not a huge fan of this. Of every week, it's just them doing a promo. I mean, they're entertaining, but I just still don't get it. Yeah, Barry, I have. I have thought about the green screen. Thanks for the super chat, brother. God, I just look blurry. I look pixely over here. The webcam does not look sharp to me when I'm looking at it over here. No, green screen I thought of. It's just, I might have to wait till I'm in a different place. I could drop it behind me, but I've thought about it. We might do that one day, or maybe at least not for all videos, but maybe certain types of videos, and maybe stream. No, that's kind of on my radar there. I've never done any green screen stuff. A couple of tutorials will teach me how to do that. But yeah, I've thought about it. I also thought about getting a banner. Tag Team Turmoil match rules, explained by the Street Profits. 2 teams start the match. When one team is eliminated, a new team enters. Eliminations can only occur... Jesus. So what is this? They get a title shot or something? Heavy Machinery, Revival, Lucha Pinata Party. The B team are still employed? I thought they were in Ring of Honor. Holy shit. Like a mind blower. Oh yeah, Gallows and Anderson better win the Turmoil. I'm telling you, I called it. I said Gallows and Anderson should win the belts back from Braun and Seth during a match when there's some miscommunication between Braun and Seth. They can't hold the tag titles forever. It's stupid for them to even hold them. So I'm going to pick Gallows and Anderson to win the Turmoil and get the belts back from Rollins and Braun. That's what I predict. Oh my god. Thank you, Drew. Appreciate the $5, dude. You're awesome. The lighting in your video is fantastic. Well, thank you. I just hope it looks good on the other side. This new webcam that I have is a 4K webcam, and it just gives much better overall lighting. My other cam was really dark, and so I had to light the room, and I don't have to do too much of that in here. The camera's really good in low light settings like myself, because I don't have any pro lights or anything, so I knew this camera was going to be better. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm glad that you like it, and I'm going to look at this when I'm done and see what I can do to improve next week. So, appreciate y'all being my guinea pigs this week. And it's a good thing, too, because it's a lower audience than normal. So, at least we can make mistakes together. Thank you, Ramon, for the $2. I appreciate it. Bought any DVDs lately? Not in a long time. I still have, they're all above my head here. I still have a gazillion DVDs, but I haven't bought one in a couple of years. The last one I remember purchasing was the Scott Hall DVD and the Daniel Bryan one. That's the only one I can really think of in the last couple of years. I kind of stopped buying them. There's a couple that I'm missing, though. A couple of the documentaries. But, I mean, with the network now and everything, I think they're dying. All right, here we go. Who's y'all's pick? Mine is still, I still got to go McIntyre or Andrade. I don't want Ricochet to win because I think he would be really stupid with the crown. He'd wear that shit out there too. He's already sitting in it. I really do kind of like, I like the King of the Ring, I have memories of it, but the idea is so stupid. Like, who would want to fight to wear a damn crown? Like, no, you can have your crown. I don't want to wear that. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate the super chat there. Thanks for the $5. Moving to Irvine this Wednesday. You were telling me you were on your way there. Very excited. In your opinion, if The Rock never left WWE in 2004, would he have had 16 title reigns instead of Cena? I don't know. Maybe not. He'd still be over and champion and all the time and everything, but some of Cena's wins were so frequent. Well, I guess The Rock was too. I mean, he dropped a bunch to Mick Foley and got it back a bunch of times in just a few weeks span there. If Rock worked full-time like Cena, then yeah, probably. How many? He was already a several-time champ by that point anyway. But I don't know. It's just hard to not imagine The Rock going to Hollywood now. But yeah, if he stayed there and never got into Hollywood, probably. God, then we'd have people hating The Rock. Rock always wins. WWE doesn't care about anybody but The Rock. Ramon Coffee, thanks for the $2, dude. You don't want to know my favorite team in the NFL. I mean, I basically have two. Where I live and where I'm from. Where I live doesn't even have a team anymore. The Chargers are gone. And where I'm from is Detroit, who's never even seen a championship game before. Or a Super Bowl. Or a trophy. So I'm going to have to go Detroit. And then maybe way down in the bottom, I'll half-ass root for the Carolina Panthers, because I did live in North Carolina for a while, and I have nothing against the team. When I lived in North Carolina, so many people that I lived with who were born and raised in North Carolina hates the Panthers. No state in the country is like that. That's how ass backwards that place is. Nothing like I'd ever seen. And so none of my friends, like literally none of them were Panther fans. They're all somewhere else. And that's because the Panthers are kind of a newer franchise, I suppose, but still, it's bizarre. So I root for them. I root for them just because nobody else does. And if the Panthers go for the Super Bowl, I'll be wearing silver and blue. But I'd rather wear Detroit's silver and blue, but they suck. And they forced Barry Sanders into retirement because they suck so bad. Come on, Drew. I really want him to beat Ricochet here. Some of y'all have Ricochet going all the way in this. Which surprised me because a lot of you told me. I think in some of the YouTube comments too. A lot of you were saying, like, I got Ricochet winning, so maybe. Can you imagine him coming out there with that crown? That fucking smile on his face? You're right, Austin. I mean, heck, by the time we got into the 2000s, even the late 90s there, the title was starting to hot potato a lot. Even the days of Shawn and Brett and prior to that, it wasn't changing hands that often. Once Austin became the champ, he immediately dropped it at King of the Ring. That's so weird. When looking back in retrospect now, you know, when you launch somebody like that and they drop it right away, the guy that you're building your company around, he gained it back the next night, and then he lost it again and got it back. So it started getting crazy there for a while. A lot of title changes. You had The Rock as a three-time champion, three-time WWE champion within less than 2.5 years in the business. Crazy. Mike Witt, thanks for the $5, man. Good to see you. You are awesome. Still think they dropped the ball not having KO in the finals of the King of the Ring. They need to end his feud with Shane soon. Push Owens. Yeah, I kind of thought that... I didn't think Owens would win. I thought they would have to do something with Shane McMahon. And I kind of had Owens go into the finals, too. I thought he might make it there just to make Shane screwing him that much more heartbreaking. You know, Owens is very close to a big win for his career. Probably going to earn him a title shot. And Shane takes it away from him. But instead, he got bounced in the first round, which surprised me. But I think it's just a way to set up their match now. But yeah, they could have had Owens go a little further. And we'll see with the way the King of the Ring plays out. Maybe they wanted to get him out of there so... because he wouldn't make a good opponent for whoever they have kind of chosen to go all the way. So who knows? Because if they have a babyface plan to win this, you don't want them in the ring with Kevin Owens, and then Shane McMahon helps the babyface beat... Oh, you know, so... Maybe there's a reason why they bounced him out that early, but I agree. I thought I originally had Owens going to the finals and losing in the finals. But now, at least this should be our final blow-off. It's got to be. There's no way there can be another one. If this thing goes into fucking Survivor Series and we have a Team Owens and a Team Shane, I'm going to lose my mind. So hopefully at Clash, they set up a gimmick match and there's a stip and Shane gets the hell out of our lives for a little while. Hopefully. Hopefully. I don't care if Ricochet wins. I still would not shake his hand. Me neither.
You guys do. You guys have the power to change things. I want your job.
Yeah, I thought Shane entering himself sounds graphic. Inserting himself, that also sounds graphic, into the King of the Ring, much like he did with the World Cup, would be funny. But I'm glad they still might do it, I guess. But I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to take a shit on the King of the Ring. I didn't care if they shit inside the World Cup. Who cares? Fill that thing right up with shit, for all I care. But King of the Ring, come on. They do something cheesy like that, it would probably piss a lot of people off. Turn a lot of people off. A lot of talk, too. You know, there's a difference between, you know, good heel heat and go away heat. And I kind of think Shane treads the line. He doesn't have go away heat with me totally. Baron Corbin does, but not Shane. Shane's almost a mixture of both. I think we're all tired of him, but he's a damn good asshole. Shane is a good babyface and a good heel. Because when he's a babyface, fans like him. They get into his matches. He always goes balls out in any of his WrestleMania matches whenever he's the babyface. Fans like Shane. Like I said, he got the pop of the century when he returned in 2016. And he's a good heel, too. That might be a good video idea. Some other YouTubers might be better equipped to handle a topic like this than me, but I should do maybe like a top 10 best wrestlers, or wrestlers who are great heels and babyfaces, like equally great. I can probably come up with 10. I think I even made that comment about the World Cup when all that stuff went down with Shane. I even said, I'm like, well, the World Cup was a joke, so I don't care that they made a joke of it, you know? Like, what do I care? Doesn't bother me at all. Jesus, Ricochet. You know, I'm going to say Ricochet's one of these guys. I do like him in WWE, and he's awesome and everything, but I think he would be a much bigger fish in, like, All Elite Wrestling. I almost wish that he was there, and he was working it all out. His match would be important, where, aside from a King of the Ring match here on Raw, most of his matches are kind of just unimportant. Yeah, if I was going to have a number one on my list, wrestler who was equally as good of a heel as he was a babyface, I think Sonny Man is right on with Hulk Hogan. I mean, he capitalized at the peak of two eras, once as a heel and once as a babyface. You know, babyface in the 80s, heel in the 90s. Both boom periods, and he was on top of both. Nobody did that. And I don't even like Hogan, but I got to admit that. Hogan's the man. Hogan's the man for sure. Nobody will ever be able to do what he did. Yeah, and there's lots of guys on the list. Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, CM Punk, Edge, guys like that. Rick Rude. No, Rick Rude's heel for life. Brock is another guy on the list. Oh, wow. A Northern Lights float over into a regular-ass suplex. Nice. Oh, yeah. Oh, I was about to say, that was just crazy strength. God, Drew is a fucking moose. How much size do you think he put on from when he debuted in WWE when he was a little lankier? Now, he was still a big guy. He's still tall. You think he put on 40 pounds or something? All muscle? If he keeps working out like that in the gym, he'll get as big as I am. It amazes me that a move like a standing shooting star is so just tossed aside and so everyday now. If I would have seen somebody do what Ricochet just did there in 1994, I would have pooped my Pampers, man. HBK, another excellent candidate. Should do a video on that. I really should. Unless somebody's already done it. Zayn's probably done it. It's a good match. Fans are liking it.
Ricochet may be out a straight right by McIntyre. McIntyre's not going to get any style points for that defense, but man, was it effective.
I'm wondering in the entire bracket if we're going to get any buys. Any double DQs, double countouts, something like that.
McIntyre is stunned. How does Ricochet do it? Crazy athletic.
I'm pulling the stream up on my phone just to look at it. I don't know, the camera doesn't look sharp to me, but I guess on my device it looks okay.
Disconnected. The headbutt right to Ricochet, knocking him down outside the ring. Once again, the brute force of Drew McIntyre overpowers the finesse of Ricochet.
Come on, McIntyre, put him away.
His ticket to the next round.
I want to see McIntyre string up some wins, man. A couple months ago, I had this whole scenario laid out for this guy to go into the Royal Rumble, win it, and win the title at WrestleMania. But he had to do a couple of things first. I was like, beat The Undertaker. Have a couple more big victories. Maybe a King of the Ring victory here. Maybe have The Undertaker put him over. Then he wins the Rumble.
McIntyre's like a horror movie villain, though, constantly moving forward. Anything Ricochet shows. Shot to the knees, McIntyre down center of the ring. Ricochet just a relentless assault here.
But on the gas.
No, Ryback's got some eating videos. Wasn't aware of that. Not sure if I want to look that up or not.
McIntyre. Oh, and a sit-out powerbomb for the win. To advance. Ricochet stays in it. McIntyre shaking his head, perhaps questioning himself. What does he need to do to put Ricochet away? There's got to be a feeling of frustration emanating through both of these superstars as we take another look at that wicked clothesline from McIntyre, followed up with a
I guess technically Big Show would make my list, but no, I don't really like him as either one. I still think Big Show is a better heel. He didn't do a whole lot of memorable stuff as a babyface, but he did some memorable heel stuff.
personal. Just gonna have to reach into it. McIntyre looking to climb the ropes up to the second rope. Ricochet in trouble on his shoulders. Ricochet trying to somehow fight out of it. McIntyre bounced off the top turnbuckle. Ricochet, man, what athleticism and balance. Oh, the recoil! Recoil by Ricochet. He's got McIntyre.
He's going for it. No way. Come on, Drew.
Trying to climb to the top rope. Ricochet wants to make absolutely sure that McIntyre stays down, but there's not much time to waste. Ricochet to the top. Can Ricochet do it?
Drew's not in frame here. Oh, he nailed him. Oh, he's gonna beat him.
Ricochet. What's the leg? Ricochet advances.
Wow. All right, maybe some of y'all were right. I told you, a lot of you picked Ricochet to win this. That was a great match. The only disappointment there for me is I really like Drew, and I just think he could be a main eventer. And losses like this don't help, but still a good match, and Ricochet's awesome. So, what the hell do I care at the end of the day? Mike, thank you for the $2. Yes, I heard about Tony Schiavone going to All Elite Wrestling. I mentioned that in the podcast last week. I'm glad that he's there. To me, I was the most happy about it when I read it because the first thing that came to my mind is All Elite Wrestling is on TNT. Tony Schiavone's voice on TNT again. Very cool. Just that sentence alone was enough to make me happy. I don't know if he's going to sit in on commentary with JR or if they're going to be doing different stuff or they're going to be together. I don't know how that's all going to work, but crazy that they're now working for the same company again for the first time in over 30 years, I think. Something like that. Maybe 25, 30-ish.
630 splash, incredible impact, and just enough to keep a very hungry Drew McIntyre down for the referee's three count. Guys, let's not let get lost in
A lot of people are picking Baron Corbin, too.
Not only did he advance, but he knocked off a
Damn, how last week we had like 400 people in here. This week we got like 170. Will y'all do me a favor and smash that thumbs up for me? Appreciate it. Y'all always do that for me. Y'all hook me up.
probably a lot of people are disappointed right now.
All right, we got Corbin and Miz.
A familiar foe in Samoa Joe next week. And still to come tonight, Miz and Corbin will
Yeah, so Miz and Corbin are working with the winner faces Cedric Alexander. I feel like Corbin would be the better opponent for Cedric. And Miz had the thing with Sammy and Shinsuke on SmackDown. And there's talk of Miz getting yet another Intercontinental title shot. Why an Intercontinental champion would want to start a feud with the Miz, I have no idea. Must be out of your mind. So maybe Nakamura or Sammy screw this up for The Miz, and then he winds up getting a title shot at the Clash instead of worrying about the tournament, which is probably fine. I don't want to see The Miz with that damn crown on his head either. He'd probably wear it too. All right, Seth and Braun are up next. It just says they're up next, I guess, for a promo. Miz and Maurice just sold their house in Texas, I saw, so they left L.A. to start filming that show, and they moved down to Austin or wherever in Texas, which I remember talking about on the podcast, thinking that was weird. I'm like, a reality show when they're leaving LA and they're going to Texas? Well, they were only there a couple years. They've sold that house, gone back to LA now, and bought a big mansion up here, $6 million mansion or something like that. And I think that's going to be chronicled in the Miz and Mrs. if anybody cares. But so they left here to go to Texas, and now they're back.
You need a trainer to help you eat the burger? Hey, Adams. I'm getting my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try a quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
History, fitness guy, I don't take anybody seriously who says somebody is winning something. Baron Corbin could win, but there's no saying that he is winning. You don't know. You don't know shit. I don't know shit. None of us know shit. Cedric Alexander could win this damn thing. I don't think he is, but he could.
I don't know how you got those in there, but I'm impressed.
Oh, yeah, I don't think JR and Tony have any issues with each other. No, not at all. I wasn't talking about that. I'm just saying, like, those are two big personalities on commentary team together. They kind of both do the same thing, you know. I mean, well, Tony worked with Tenay, so I guess that would be the same. Tenay was more of a play-by-player. So I guess it could work. If Tony could work with Tenay, he could work with JR. Who would you do a three-man team? You got to put a goofy-ass dude in there.
Let's kill this clown.
Who else do they have? I don't even know. Do I think AJ is a good heel? Yeah. I like AJ as a heel. He's not like the best shit talker or anything like that, but I just think, you know, he's a veteran. You know, he's arguably the best wrestler in the world. I take him seriously as a heel because I take him seriously as a performer. I'm not sure which I like him more, though. Heel or babyface. I might like him more babyface in WWE and maybe heel elsewhere, if that makes sense. Might prefer that. Oh yeah, Excalibur. Excalibur or CM Punk. There has been talk, you know, rumblings of CM Punk coming in. Something about maybe doing something with WWE on Fox and maybe even being an employee of Fox, not WWE. Talk of him being an MMA commentator as well. So I don't know what Punk's gonna do. He'll be at StarCast, but right now I'm not counting on him being at All Out, even though I think he should be there. And he should show up there and flip off the WWE and cut an awesome promo. I did too. 2016 heel AJ was awesome. Yeah, AJ's awesome. I mean, you just respect AJ. And this is a guy that drives me crazy. Mr. Gay Community and Mr. Flat Earth, Georgia Moron. But I don't care what his stupid-ass beliefs are. He's a great worker, and I respect the balls out of him. It's like Shawn Michaels, the same thing. You know, Shawn was an asshole, but he was so stupidly good. It's like, okay, Shawn, everybody hates you, and you're a drug-addicted buffoon, but I love you with all my heart. Same goes for AJ.
Safe in this business. Become powerful enough that no one can touch you. Where does it end?
Yeah, WWE doing this whole podcast network is kind of crazy. I mean, like I said, everybody's got a podcast, everybody. I mean, it literally takes nothing to start a podcast, you know? All you really have to do is do it on YouTube if that's all you want to do. And anybody can do that. And now there's so many, and there's only a few big ones, and WWE's like, shit, there's probably money to be made in that realm, and they're not just starting a podcast, they're starting a network of podcasts. And if they hire me, I want it in my contract that I never have to meet Michael Cole or Kevin Dunn or Stephanie McMahon. Everyone else is cool. And when you think about it too, there's a lot of talent on the roster too that would probably have great things to talk about. You know, they do the ride-alongs and the table for threes. Those are all pretty entertaining. You know, and Xavier Woods has got his YouTube channel. You know, you give Xavier and Big E a podcast, I will never listen to any other podcast again. I will just listen to theirs. I'll probably quit YouTube just so I can spend all my time listening to Big E. So there's plenty of guys on the roster I think who could have a really fun podcast, but then it's going to be WWE controlled, and you're going to have some restraints put on you, and that scares me right off the bat. And then what if you start using it to further works and further storylines, and then you have the AJ Styles podcast, and then his pay-per-view opponent joins him as a guest, and they fight on the... I mean, what if it gets to that, you know? I don't know. But it's not surprising WWE's doing that. But I said Kevin Dunn emits sexuality. Yes, I say that every year on April 1st. On April 1st, he's the sexiest motherfucker alive. But not today. What's her name? Misty Carmichael or something?
And the Universal Champion, Seth Rollins.
I thought they were coming out to the ring. Matt Riddle podcast. Yeah, I would want to be a guest on that. I would provide the snacks, shall we say. Thanks for the super chat, Mike Witt. Yes, Brian Pillman was a good heel and a babyface, but he was a much better heel. Pillman was awesome as a heel. Pillman was at his best when you didn't know what the hell he was going to do. And as a babyface, he was more Flying Brian. But then as he transitioned into the kind of that loose cannon nutball, he was better. His debut in ECW when he went heel, oh my God. Nothing he ever did as a babyface was as good as that. But I liked him as both. You can trace a lot of those first high-flying moves in the U.S. back to Brian. Because you weren't seeing it here. And when he came in and started flying all over the ring, he invented more moves than we know, or than we realize.
Something tells me you don't care about any of that. Braun, are you challenging me for my Universal title right now?
Oh, I thought he already did challenge you for the Universal title.
Just won the tag titles last week. I'm just wanting to make sure we're on the same page, partner.
Oh yeah, you guys are headed for court.
I'm challenging you for the Universal Championship.
Oh, whoops. Turn the volume up.
You know, it's not going to be any fun for me. I'm not going to like it, but I don't back down from a fight. Challenge accepted. You're on, partner.
All right, so we knew that was going to happen. Braun has challenged. Seth has accepted. We can assume that will be Clash. And we can assume the two of them are going to clash before then with some... Yeah, so that's what I would do. I would have Gallows and Anderson win this turmoil. Give you another week or so of Seth and Braun as champions. You do the rematch prior to Clash. Miscommunication. They drop the belts, and into Clash you go. Like, that's what they're doing, right? Or am I misreading this? Nathan, thank you for the $2, brother. I appreciate it. What have I missed so far tonight? I don't know. What have you missed? Oh, a great little promo and brawl with Sasha Banks, and then she's rushed by Natalya, and they have a pull-apart fight. Pretty good. Ricochet beat Drew McIntyre to advance in the King of the Ring in a really good match, even though I had Drew kind of winning that. Or on my list to win it. And, well, that's it, I think.
It happens in 3 weeks. The Clash of Champions streaming live on the WWE Network. Are you guys ready for some more action in the King of the Ring tournament?
All right, here comes Miz. All right, this is Miz and Corbin. They're knocking both of these King of the Ring matches out right away here in the first hour. Well, Drew walked over there and sat in that damn throne, and he lost. So that should be the equivalent of, like, walking under a ladder. Don't do it. I can't believe this sentence is going to come out of my mouth. If you go back in time and tell 2011 me what I'm about to say, I'm probably going to jump into the future and knock on my own door and come kill myself because I'm going to be so mad. But what I'm about to say here is I'm disappointed with the Miz's use, and he deserves better. He does. A year ago, I had this guy going all the way, you know, and winning the world title. I was like, he should go into the main event of WrestleMania against Daniel Bryan and beat him for the title. In just such a crazy reversal of what you thought might happen a couple years ago. I mean, Miz has proven himself. I think he should be given another run. I think it was too early for him last time. I think WWE rushed it and was trying to pull a star out of their ass. And we all rejected him. And I never liked The Miz, but man, he's hung in there, man. He has hung in there. He's great on the mic. WWE seems to like him. He does public appearances, has his own reality show. He's all over the place. I think he should have a run. I think he should turn heel at some point and get another run with the title. I think if Miz is going to win the world title, Universal or WWE title, it's got to be heel. I wouldn't want to see it babyface. So between now and some next year or so, turn this guy heel, make him back into that douchebag Miz that we all love to hate so much, and give him the title and put him on top and let him do his thing as a heel and work his magic on the mic. I'm ready to give him another chance. I wish WWE was too. Sonic, exactly. I don't know, maybe that's all over the internet. I've never seen that before, but that's hilarious. He has been misused. Yes, he has. And I can't believe I'm saying that. Miz being misused. There was a time when we said, oh, Miz was overused. And, you know, I think I was, like, supportive of his 2011 title run. I just wasn't enamored with it. You know, and looking back, it was just way too early. I mean, he was the champion going into WrestleMania 27 in the main event, and nobody gave a shit about him. You know, he was completely overshadowed by Rock and Cena. And he was the champ. And he won that match and retained, and we still don't really remember him for that, you know? We remember The Rock and Cena. Yeah, maybe during the filming of the show, probably wouldn't be a good time for him to be champion, but then again, it might, because then you get to have that on the reality show of him winning the title and bringing the belt home and blah, blah, blah. But by the time that makes air, you know, after all that shit goes through post and then debuts on the next season or whatever, I mean, he could not be champion anymore and then whatever. But still, like, I mean, if Brock Lesnar sat on his ass with that title and we didn't have it on the show at all, I think Miz could film the reality show and maybe not have it on the show. Maybe he just miss house shows, which is what was happening already with Brock. It's not like live event business is booming with or without the champion. I think attendance is ass right now. Miz card Miz, or mid-card Miz. They're the genius CJ. Mike, thanks for the $5, dude. I appreciate it. Thanks for another one, as always. When Miz was getting beat down last week on SmackDown, would have been cool to see John Morrison come out and reunite Miz and Morrison. I said that. I tweeted that a couple of times. I love that team. I tweeted out that I pictured myself pulling a Miss Elizabeth and like running to the back and dragging him out from the locker room, like when she dragged Hulk Hogan to come out and save Randy Savage, and then Morrison comes out. I would love to see them bring Morrison back in. That'd be great. Team back up with the Miz, just for shits and gigs. He might get lost in the shuffle, but doesn't everybody? And I'm not sure why they never reached back out to him or vice versa. Maybe he just hasn't had any desire. I mean, he's kept himself busy. He's always had work, Lucha Underground and Impact, and he's always busy. Oh, we're going to get a promo first?
You know, in my 13-year WWE career, I've accomplished a lot. WWE champion, 8-time Intercontinental champion, 2-time United States champion.
I do. The dirt. I forgot about it until now. The dirt sheet with Miz and Morrison. That's right. When did Morrison leave? I remember they did that match where Miz beat him, but I don't even remember what year that was. 12? Has it been that long? Morrison, he won Tough Enough, right? Or was he a Tough Enough contestant? I can't remember. I think he won it. Then he was briefly Johnny Nitro.
These are the first steps to becoming King
Then it was Eminem.
Awesome.
King Awesome. As much as I love you, Miz, and I think you should be a world champion, I don't want you to win the King of the Ring. Damn. 2011, huh? Well, I guess it ended 2011. I was close. Hey, Baron Corbin, will you do me a favor next week? Can you wear a shirt that's just a little tighter? Because that's just way too baggy. Because you don't look dumb in that at all. I mean, I think it could be tighter. That way you'd look even more awesome. God, I hate this guy. Man, the years are flying by. What is that noise? You mean to tell me that happened back in 2011, 8 years ago? Jesus, man. My cat was only 2 years old. He's an old man now.
Did you hear that, Renee? Did you hear that happen tonight?
Reese Jones, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support. And thank you for a couple of donations you've made to the channel over the last few months. I had a couple of videos out dedicated to you. What did I do? The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, and I think another one. You have to remind me, brother, but you guys can check those videos out on my channel. Would not put it past WWE to have Braun win the U.S. title and do a title for title at Clash. Title for title for title? That's a lot of titles, man. So you do Braun and Seth. They might potentially still be tag team champions, but I think they should drop the belts prior to that. And then you do title for title again. But then what? Then you have... Oh, man, I don't know. You could be right, though. I'm just trying to think why they would set that up, and if they did, why they would. But they're giving Braun another title shot tonight. He got a title shot last week, and he got screwed because the OC interfered or whatever. So he's getting another shot, but if he does win, why? Why did they just strip the OC of all those belts right when they got rolling? If it's a way for them to give them all back to them, then fine. Gives them some big opponents to beat for some championships. But if they take the title away from AJ, give it to Braun, and then Seth and Braun battle for both. I mean, maybe keeping a title on Braun if they don't want Seth to drop the belt, which I'm not expecting him to. I do not think Seth will go in and beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam clean and drop the belt the next month. I just don't see that happening. So if he somehow beats Braun Strowman, then Braun's still got a belt and he can still do his thing. I don't know. And if Seth is beating Brock Lesnar clean, why would he not beat Braun Strowman clean? Right? So are we setting up to get yet another Braun Strowman loss in a big match? Or will the Clash set up a rematch between the two at the October pay-per-view, which could happen? Because if I had to guess, as we go to commercial break here, because if I had to guess between the two title belts, I think Kofi is in more jeopardy than Seth. I think Kofi's run might end at Clash, and I don't see both belts changing at Clash. And like I said, Seth just won it. So whatever they do with Seth and Braun, I'd like it not to ruin Strowman. I mean, it would be a huge win for Seth. He'd be getting the Roman Reigns push if he beat Brock Lesnar twice, virtually clean both times, and then he turns right around and beats Strowman too. Damn. Maybe y'all can transfer some of that Roman hatred and just move it on over to somebody else like they always do. I equated Cena like a couple years ago on one of the podcasts. I was like, it's kind of like the rope-a-dope. When it comes to Cena, the fans eventually are going to punch themselves out. They're finally just going to die of exhaustion for just repeating the same shit over and over, hating everybody that likes Cena, shitting on everything he does, calling every fan sheep. He can't wrestle. 5 moves of doom. Cena always wins. I'm like, if you just sit back and laugh at these guys and just watch them just punch them into themselves into exhaustion, they'll die and Cena will still be there. And that's exactly what happened. Those fans have kind of lightened up. They're no longer obsessed with Cena. They got over that and realized they're not going to take him down, so they moved that obsession over to somebody else. Roman Reigns. Now they're doing the same thing. Complaining until they just run out of shit to complain about, and now they're going to move on to somebody else. And if Seth beats Braun Strowman clean here, I wouldn't be surprised if you really start getting that chatter, because I feel like we're already getting it with Seth. Fans are annoyed with him, and they're tired of him. He's a lame babyface, his promos are dumb, and he doesn't connect, and all that shit that we hear. So it's just like this, they just transfer, you know, they get tired and they move on to someone else. Took me a while to realize that. Wasted a lot of time arguing with people that I knew if I just shut up and let them do their thing, they'd tire themselves out. It's like when you leave a crying kid in their crib. You just leave them alone for a long enough time, they'll stop crying and fall asleep. That's the way I kind of treat fans now. It works. I recommend it. Another WWE Bruce, awesome. Bruce, are you backstage at Raw tweeting this? Seth is holding the belt till Mania. Mania 36 will be Seth and Roman. We all know this. No, we don't all know this. I don't think that's guaranteed at all. There's a million different ways he could go by then. You could still do Seth and Roman, but it doesn't have to be. Seth doesn't have to hold the title until then for it to happen. Roman could win the SmackDown title, and Seth could go there and they could wrestle for it. Doesn't have to be Seth holding it the whole time. But wouldn't be surprised if they have a big match like that for WrestleMania, and it definitely could happen. Looks pretty. And that, I tell you what, though, I mean, as much as I don't like your certainty, because there's nothing set in stone, I like the idea because of like what the fans will be like in that match. Because by then, if Seth does hold the title like you're proposing, if they're not sick of him now, they're going to be complete assholes by the time he gets to WrestleMania. I mean, think about how hard the fans are on him now. You give the fans another 8 months of this, oh my God, they're going to be frothing at the mouth ready for this guy to drop the title. Roman Reigns might go into WrestleMania as the biggest babyface of all time. Imagine that. Man, I don't see The Miz winning the King of the Ring, but at the same time, I don't want Corbin to win it either, so I'm rooting for The Miz for right now. Come on, Miz. You can win in the you can lose in the next round, but maybe win this one. Win this match versus Corbin. Greg from Montreal. Good to see you in here. I know you're in the chat sometimes. I recognize your name. Uh-oh, looks like Killer Cotlin's 3-year-old daughter has gotten a hold of his chat. Hey, Mike Witt, thanks for the super chat. Write that into WWE. Send them an email or something. They should put those cartoons on the network. I got to look up. I got to research who did. I don't know who they handled the animation and the production of that. Maybe they don't have the license or the copyrights to put that on the network. I don't know. Maybe there's some legal reason it can't be there. But they should. They should put those on. Why not? Might be good to go side by side with a lot of the current animated series they have and they've done in the past. And also, the one thing I don't remember about those rock and wrestling cartoons is I've seen them, but I haven't gone back and watched episodes in a long time. I have them somewhere, so I don't know how they've aged. Maybe they're just too dumb to put on the network. I don't know. I don't really remember. Six beers enter, no beers leave. Not tonight, I'm drinking light. The only thing I have in my fridge right now, I didn't even feel like going to buy any lighter beer, but I just have these really gnarly IPAs. This one's 8.5, so I'm lightly sipping on this. I'm going to have a maximum of 2 of these because I got shit to do later. Addicted Chip, thanks for the $2, brother. I appreciate it. How about Rob Stone winning the WWE Championship? I saw that, or the 24/7 Championship on the NFL thing, right? I only saw glimpses of that, I think, on Twitter. But that's cool. I got no problem with like outside people winning this. It's not a serious championship. The title has changed hands at least 3 or 4 times without the pinfall even being visual, or without any maybe any moves being visible. I think Briscoe and Patterson, neither one of them took any bumps. I don't think Medusa did either. Yes, pin this fucker. Ah, he kicked out of the skull-crushing finale. Son of a bitch. I thought he had that. I'm reaching for the remote to turn it up, and I forgot that it's here. Damn it, Corbin. Graves, I know you're back from vacation, but shut up. It's okay to think somebody's jacked. It's not. Nobody's going to think you're a homo. I love that we still use no homo. That's so funny. You could say Baron Corbin looks sexy as hell, and I wouldn't question anything, buddy. I would personally disagree, because I don't think he does. Oh, look out, Miz. Oh, you're screwed. Here comes, yep. Ah, son of a bitch. Corbin, my beer's low. Get your stupid ass to the back and get me a new one, please. You can do that, right? Because I've been waiting for cheese sticks since February. Maybe you can figure out how to ring in a beer and go pick it up from the service bar. And don't tell the bartender she looks pretty. She hates you. Just go get my beer. Nick Morales, good to see you in here. It's been a while since you've been here. Welcome back. Not a horrible audience in here. 200 people. I'll take it. Glad you're back, man. I'll be here this Friday for a podcast. I'll be here this Saturday reacting to All Out. And back here in a week reacting to Raw. Whole lot on my face in the next 7 days. So I apologize in advance. Hopefully I don't have any boogies. I can't believe he kicked out of that finale. I thought Miz had it. Oh yeah, and I want to apologize. Last week when Strowman, I see Nicholas's dad in the ring. When Strowman won the tag belts, I was like, I think that's his first title. I had completely forgotten about Nicholas and him at WrestleMania. So, sorry for being stupid. I kind of forget recent history. I don't remember anything. I don't remember what happened last week. Matches happened and people won and lost, right? That's all I know. Ah, Corbin, man, if this fool... Don't put that crown on your sweaty head. That's gross. Oh, and that's exactly what you're... As soon as I said don't put the crown on your sweaty head, that's what you do. I hope some of that gold paint rubs off and gets into your pores and causes your dick to fall off.
You know, when I showed up to this building,
He's wearing it and talking.
Where the WWE Universe voted, and they wanted anybody, absolutely anybody but me, to win King of the Ring.
I'd rather watch 2 girls, 1 cup while eating a bowl of pudding than watch this fucker cut a promo with a crown on his head. Like, no lie.
I've never really cared about what any of you think anyways. None of you actually matter to me.
I don't care that you don't care what I think. I wasn't talking to you.
Because on your
Stupid ass.
very best day, you couldn't accomplish a single thing that I have.
Oh, yes, I could. And I have. So F you.
I'm where I am today because of one person.
You're in a throne with a crown on?
Me. And after I'm Corbin
This is what a crazy person does. You should be a mental institution.
first, all hail King Corbin.
Max Phoenix, sorry. I thought that was pop culture mainstream knowledge. Sorry, it's like 10 years old now. You don't want to know. Just forget I said it. It's nothing. I just don't like the gimmick of the king. Who wants to, I mean, I guess everybody wants to live like a king, right? But who wants to be a king? Like, who would, like... Who would fight for the right to sit in a throne with a crown on your head? I'm like, can I just have a trophy or a check for $25,000 or something like that? Is the purse? Well, actually, these days it'd be a lot more than 25 grand. 100 grand, 200 grand, $1 million. I'll take that over your stupid velvet throne. All right, you fools, you better win this turmoil thing and win the belts back.
Last week, Rollins and Strowman earned a tag title match out of thin air. Yeah, and tonight we have to compete in a tag team turmoil match against 7.
Oh, Sam, any other friendos here? Yeah, I'm a friendo.
Come on.
Steve and Larson are awesome dudes.
It doesn't make any sense. It's not fair. But you know what? Tonight, we right those wrongs. And we show everyone why this...
Yeah, Montez Ford, his crown looks better. He pulls it off. But dumb Corbin does not look right. Montez kind of looks like a sexy Flava Flav or something. Or Corbin just looks like a stick of lady deodorant with a fucking crown on his head. Alright, SmackDown champion on Raw makes total sense. So this is a match against Nikki Cross, I think? Correct? Too much crisscross in here. Either do a brand split or don't. Sometimes you gotta love Graves. He puts it simply, and that was, I couldn't agree more. He goes, this just makes me vomit. And I agree. I've been begging for a Bayley heel turn for, what, 2 years? I liked when she pushed down Charlotte on SmackDown. I thought that was awesome. Charlotte bumped great. Looked good. But Bayley doing one thing in 1 year that I like isn't enough for me to turn me. So let's turn her. Mike, thanks for the super chat. Where are the cats tonight? Tito is right below me, just chilling. He usually doesn't bother me too much. He might jump around back there, but Tito's not in my face. The other one, on the other hand, is... fast asleep on my bed. Let's keep it that way. That wasn't good. I love Charlotte's reaction. I mean, she hit the table and everything. That was awesome.
Make a date with Popeyes. 2 can dine for $10. Just find someone as special as my chicken and share 5 pieces, 2 sides, and 2 biscuits for just $10.
This match is only happening so Bliss can be on TV. I think Bliss would be on TV anyway. She's on TV every week. Plus, she's the... Anytime a tag team champion has a match, their partner is at ringside. Nothing different is happening. Did I miss a super chat, Joey?
If I met another veteran, they were with another insurance company, I would tell them, you need to join USAA because they have better rates and better service. We're the Gomez family. We're the Rivera family. We are the Kirby family, and we are USAA members for life.
Get your auto insurance quote today. Can a beer be brewed for great taste?
Yeah, Joe, yeah. A lot of y'all are asking where the cats are. Leaving me alone, which is the way I like it. I try to take steps. I put their food all the way in the other room so they don't screw around in the kitchen. But sometimes they come lurking in. And the night is young. We're only an hour into Monday Night Raw here.
Rakuten is an awesome way to earn cash back with little or no effort.
Winner of the King of the Ring should get the 30th entry into the Rumble? Maybe.
All you have to do
I think they'd have to hold the King of the Ring a little closer to the Rumble.
Easy to sign up. It's easy to set up.
Because they change storyline plans so much. If they
I have to press 2 buttons, easy. I have to maybe go to a website.
if they decide who's going to be number 30 already,
I just continue checkout like normal, and that's it.
I just don't trust them to stick with it.
Go to Rakuten.com and sign up today for a $10 bonus.
Oh yeah, Chris Sanchez. I saw something on Twitter about that. Why? So apparently the entire world is debating about a Popeyes and Chick-fil-A sandwich. I have not compared them. I've seen that more than once. on Twitter. I don't know why that's a thing. I laughed because the first thing I thought of was my streams. I'm like, that sounds like some sort of a weird ass debate that we'd come up with in one of our streams. So why that's all over Twitter lately, I don't know.
Your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get that up home. Changes your whole life.
Welcome to a few new followers over on the Twitter. Good to see you guys in here. I haven't had this pulled up much because the light shines in my face.
Scientists are right. Women should get vitamins and minerals from food. But no matter what you eat, most of us still lack essential nutrients. From D3 to omega-3, we identified 9 key ingredients women need in clean, traceable forms. Designed for your
Someone said Bailey is like a female Cena but less popular. Yeah, I think we've compared Bailey to Cena before because they are kind of similar. You know, one of Cena's biggest criticisms that he got, you know, during his heyday and stuff was that he was just very much for kids. A lot of 5-year-olds came to the arena dressed in his shit, and that pissed off all the teenagers that wanted to be adults, and they hated seeing that, and they rebelled against it, where as an adult, I didn't give a shit. But I see Bailey was the same way, especially in NXT, and they tried to bring her in like that in WWE, but it's not the same. She's worse than Cena. That's pretty much an accurate assessment. It is. It's funny, but it's true. Well, let's WWE promote the shit out of this. Oh yeah, NXT moving to Wednesdays on the USA Network. Corey Graves, this is my first time recognizing your white outfit. You look like an idiot. All teens and all adults love John Cena. Yeah, you know who loves John Cena the best? The men, the white men between ages 18 and, I don't know, 28. They love him. Oh, are we going to replay Dominic's shitty promo? I recommend against that.
You told me that when I debuted, I would debut as your partner. I want to be able to tell my children that I was a partner with...
When are they doing this tag match, and who are they going to wrestle?
My father, the great Rey Mysterio.
I had Dominic turning on Ray when Ray was working with Joe. I thought I was seeing because look at the size of Dominic. He looks more like Joe than Ray to me. And then Joe was his mentor, and he turns on his dad. I think that could be great. But now I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm so glad I'm your father and not Eddie Guerrero because of that match. Oh yeah, it is. I thought it was my own screen. So what the hell's going on with this suit? I thought my own display. Oh, we were just... Oh my god, are you really walking in the middle? Okay, you can't be here. Dude. You just jump right up on the desk. I got 2 keyboards up here. Dude. Did y'all see him walk right across? I don't know. All right, here comes Nikki. Who's the person that said Alexa was going to be on TV? Alexa's not even with her. Alexa will run in, though. Well, maybe not. Maybe Bailey will just beat her. Bailey's a champ. She should win. Get Alexa Bliss out of there, and just have Bailey just beat Nikki straight up.
Alexa has motivated Nikki Cross. That's the word you're looking for, is motivated.
You know, this could actually be a great feud if Nikki was more like on her own in a singles environment, and she was more like Sanity Nikki. and Bailey's, you know, a little goody two-shoes, and Nikki is kind of crazy and unpredictable and a little bit evil and scary, and, you know, you book them in a feud like that, it might be fun. You could have some fun promos and build to the match and have Nikki do some crazy things to Bailey and psych her out and mess with her head and all that stuff. I think this feud, just like on paper, would have potential, but instead this is just a tune-up, I think, for Bailey. Because she's facing Charlotte, don't forget.
Because a moment of bliss isn't a place for crazy shenanigans. It's an award-winning, classy, thought-provoking talk show.
Yeah, that's how all talk shows work in WWE, right?
And here's Nikki now back into the ring. Nikki understands a victory over Bailey could earn her a possible SmackDown Women's
I always thought Nikki also always, to me, looked like she could be the daughter of the British Bulldog. She looks a lot like Davey Boy Smith to me. I don't know why. And if you look at Georgia Smith, who works for MLW, they kind of look alike. The two could be a tag team. They look like sisters. Nikki always, for some reason, has just reminded me of Davey. I don't know why.
Motivating factor for Nikki Cross. There's no denying that.
I've been saying that for like 4 minutes now. Wouldn't it be awesome, Renee, to have somebody who would...
Nicholas, if you don't have cable, you can find a stream on, just Google Raw stream or something. You'll find something. It'll be sketch. You know, it'll be sketchy as hell, but you can find streams. It's not hard these days. Just plug it in there to that Google thing. To pull up that Google, put it right in there in that little toolbar they call it. I think it's a toolbar, you know, on the interweb, and just type it right in. It'll direct you to like an online site that'll take you right to that stream. Good luck.
Bailey disrespected Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, and Charlotte Flair.
I think that Bailey took the spotlight that she deserves. She's a SmackDown Women's Champion. She deserves to be at the top. She's trying to change.
Yeah, Harry looks a lot like Davey.
And that's what Bailey's problem is.
Bailey should have taken a page out of Sasha Banks' book.
Georgia looks like more like Diana than Davey. I don't know. I'm thinking like young Davey Boy Smith. I think Georgia looks a lot like him. Maybe as Davey got older and more tanned and leathery looking, maybe it was hard to tell. But, so, you know, a young Davey Boy. I think he looks a lot like Georgia.
Nikki definitely sees what this opportunity could bring with a victory over Bailey here tonight.
Big right hand from Bailey.
Oh, yeah, people say I found it offline or I got it offline. Like if you buy something, where'd you get that? Oh, I got it offline. Like, how the hell did you get it offline?
Great evasion by the SmackDown Women's Champion. Roll up, shoulders down here. 2-count kick out by Nikki.
I worked in this restaurant one time. We had an outside patio. That was just outside with an awning on it. But to get out there, you had to come inside the restaurant first. So if you wanted to sit out there, you had to park, walk into the restaurant and say, I want to sit outside, and we would take you to outside. And it never failed. Every person that came in, they would walk from their car, and I'd be inside, remember. They'd walk from their car and then come inside, and I'd be like, do you want to sit inside or outside? And they're like, well, how does it feel outside? Is it warm or is it cold? I'm like, motherfucker, you were just out there. Remember the temperature from the walk to your car to the front door? That's what it feels like outside. But every person, it never failed. They would all say, like, well, what's it like out there? I'm like, well, I'm inside. You just came from outside. So you know better than me how it feels outside. You know, it was like one of those things. And every single person did it. I'm like, what is going on? Are people crazy? Or am I crazy? It's one of us. And that's it. Clean win for Bailey. As the way it should be. I'm no Bailey fan, but she's the champ. She needs to win here. She's facing Charlotte. She can't be coming out here dropping matches. Buddy, you are drooling all over me, man. You're a cat, not a dog. You're not supposed to be drooling. All right, good win, Bailey. Are we going to get Charlotte coming out here to do anything to her or no? All right, Strowman, we're going to get another interview with him.
Braun, at Clash of Champions, for the first time in history, you and Seth Rollins will defend the Raw Tag Team Championships. And then, later that night, you will face your partner, Seth Rollins, for the Universal title. And now here tonight, on top of all...
Oh, so it is a double match.
...to become the new United States Champion.
Look, Clash of Champions is going to be a busy night for me.
All right, so the gauntlet, or not the gauntlet, but the turmoil match, the winner of that gets the title shot at Clash. I wasn't listening earlier. And then Seth and Braun face for the titles. Okay. I feel like they got to drop them. They got to drop the tags.
That's what I call winner takes all. And it's gonna feel good.
And he's got a U.S. title shot tonight.
AJ Styles is gonna feel later tonight with no Gallows, no Anderson, and no one to stop me from getting the universe.
I guess that's why it's called Clash of Champions, because champions are clashing like a mofo.
And no one
Some of them are clashing twice.
Styles from getting these hands.
Nope, you're not going to walk over there, buddy. Down there. Down here.
Championships. The question is, who will Braun and Seth defend the tag team titles against in Clash of Champions? We're about to find out. Tag team turmoil.
All right, turmoil match coming.
Starting things up hot. Time to join the raid.
I'm going Gallows and Anderson on this. I really don't want any other team to win other than them. I think the Viking Raiders are just a phenomenal team, but I don't just give a shit about them at all in the main roster.
Corey, the Viking Raiders have been so impressive, but as one of the first two teams to start tag team turmoil at a huge disadvantage. Tell us about the rules of this matchup. Well, two teams will start off. You need to eliminate your opposition at the moment, and then the next team that has drawn the next in line will join the party.
Good point there, Malvin. That's what I said. I didn't even think about that with the Bayley match. I was like, yeah, she should win this because she's the champion. But yeah, why the hell is she on Raw? This just, oh my God, this wild card nonsense. I was hoping they would phase this out. Maybe they're just waiting until October. But they might not want to. They might want to have access to all their talent for the Fox show just in case they need to have a reason to get somebody over there. That's probably why we're not seeing the wild card rule completely die. Because they want to have it available to them if needed. My cat left all sorts of hair everywhere.
That night we have for you. The excitement is pulsating. There is a big fight field.
Oh, that's right. We got a TakeOver UK show that airs right before, or airs at the same time, I believe, as All Elite. Oh, no, 2 p.m. All right. So it's going to be on before. I'm not going to be watching that. The thing that sucks about Saturday is I have to work during the day. So I'm going to be getting off real close to the time that All Out starts. So I'm going to have everything set up and ready to go. That way I can just walk in the door, flip the switch, and we'll rock and roll. But yeah, I'm not going to be aware at all of what goes on at the UK TakeOver.
I can't stop. Savannah, you just made waffles. Why do you have another waffle maker? The first step is admitting you got a problem. I haven't heard you admit it.
Y'all still have commercials? Aren't you guys in a lot of trouble, Chrisley?
Tuesday at 10:30 on USA.
The one guy that does not want to go to prison is Chrisley. You can kiss your ass goodbye, literally, if you go there.
There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
All right, I'm going to grab another beer. I'm going to grab one of these real quick, strong beers. I actually think I might have turned, the mic might have been off there when I faded myself out. I think it was. Don't worry, I'm here. Just went and grabbed another crazy beer.
Proud son of an immigrant father, John Hernandez found his own path through a field of smoke. John found his fighting spirit.
I'll make sure that, Barry, you're not the only one I missed there on the Super Chat. Just making sure. It looks like just you. Thanks for another $2, man. Greetings from Hawaii. Ever had to work with someone just really stupid? Yeah. I've been working my whole life. I've been working for 26 years straight without a day or without any time off. I've never been unemployed, and I've worked with a lot of stupid people. I work with a couple of stupid people now. But I was once stupid. So most people I try to be patient with, and I understand if you're young, you're not going to know things, you know. You'll learn them. But it's the people who should know that are dumb anyway that I wish that I could do without. Man. Bo Dallas. I mean, I'm guessing B Team work house shows, right? But I mean, that's when was the last time they've been on TV?
But if you win this match, it doesn't end because another team's going to come out until all 8 teams have competed. Both the B Team and the Viking Raiders at a severe disadvantage as it comes to the tag team turmoil rules. But if anybody can overcome the odds, it's Eric and Ivar looking to continue their swath of destruction all the way to Clash of Champions for a Raw Tag Team title opportunity. Yeah, so if you win Tag Team Turmoil, what do you get at the end of the rainbow?
If y'all are in here watching right now, do me a favor and smash that like button for me. See if any new subs have come in.
Excellent. Dallas with frequent tags in and out of the ring doing a great
Yeah.
job isolating.
All right, we're about to hit 28,000 YouTube subs. We're just a few away from that, so if you're not a subscriber, please smash it. But I have a feeling, based on our audience in here, I think everybody in this chat right now is already subscribed. But yeah, we've had a really good amount of growth in the last couple weeks, and we should be at 30,000 subs here pretty soon. Provided growth stays consistent, should be all good. Yeah, Bo Dallas might be a little heavier. Been eating a lot of catering. Yeah, like we thought the B team was going to win this shit. No, I do not own my own restaurant. I just work there. This is actually a pretty nice looking matchup right here. Look at Anderson. He's like, Carl is getting in that ring like, I am the sexiest motherfucker in this ring right now. Maybe aside from the referee, of course. Come on, club. I'm rooting for you guys. I want you to win. War Raiders I love as a team, but I loved them more as a team in NXT. I mean, War Raiders, I mean, they're still good. They can still do awesome things in the ring, but they're authors of pain now. It's just like, it's over. The 9 name changes. The bringing them up while they were still champions out of nowhere for no reason when you didn't need them. I'm actually surprised with WWE's use of heavy machinery. They've actually been putting them in some big matches on SmackDown. They've had a couple of good victories. And they're impressing. And I consider them to be the lesser of the two teams here. The War Raiders are a stupid gimmick, but man, can these guys go. But I think heavy machinery might be a slightly more entertaining just due to Otis. Just due to the King Kong Bundy LJN figure with hair, is what I call him. Aw, man. Oh, bullshit. This is good. This is a reason to do a commercial. No. Well, we have no authority figure to reverse this. Excellent use of Gallows and Anderson. Good job, WWE. See, they don't want to leave. So let's go to commercial. Oh, no. Damn. Who the hell is Rude's partner? Am I missing something? I was about to say, I have no idea who his partner is. Oh, Ziggler? No shit. I missed that in the graphic earlier on. Or I think when Street Profits were talking. What is this teaming of Ziggler and Rude mean? Could be awesome. They're here to show the world, y'all. They're here to show the world how glorious they are. Interesting team. This company. Guess OC won't be champs. Yeah, I predicted that wrong. That's what I would do. I'd put Gallows and Anderson as winning this turmoil and have them beat Rollins and Strowman for the belts. We don't even know who the turmoil opponent is next. Yeah, glad Rude went back to the full beard. The mustache was giving me an uneasy feeling. If Rude would have bought a van or something, I would have been freaked out. Tell you what, if this was 1998 and Vince Russo was around, he'd be like, oh, a pedophile gimmick. What a great idea. He'd do it. He'd put somebody in a mustache and have him drive a white van around and offer candy bars or something. You know he'd do it. Yeah, I mean, if they're going to put Dolph and Rude together, are they going to really just put them together just to have them lose a bunch of matches randomly? If they're putting them together, maybe they got a plan for them. And it's a pretty random teaming.
Now get 2 free Samsung Galaxy A20 phones with huge HD screens. That's a huge win. So you can enjoy the biggest shows on the newest device. Metro has the best deal. 2 lines plus 2 free phones for $80 with Amazon Prime included. Only at Metro.
Perfect and Rude, I'm certain had tags together. They're bros, man. They go way back. Minnesota days, AWA, WWF. I know they had. I know they were on a Survivor Series team or two together, but I'm not sure if they have any straight up tags. I'm sure some can be found.
And now we need to get back to work. Only pay for what you need.
Minnesota, man, that fucking place birthed so many wrestlers. Road Warriors and Darso and Rude and Hennig and John Nord and Brock, X-Pac.
Bassett's annual Labor Day sale is here, and they're celebrating the end of summer with 25% off furniture and rugs, plus special savings on some of our favorite designs, from beds starting at just $6.99 to sofas starting at $9.99. It's the perfect time.
Wow. Thank you for that, Bruce. Perfect and Rude. There was some Warrior and Texas Tornado house. I bet there was around 1990. That's right. Those were the 2 matches at SummerSlam. Perfect Von Erich, Warrior Rude. Warrior would be gone right after that. Or Rude would be gone right after that, though. Yeah, I bet they did. That was probably some good shit. Modern Day Warrior and the Ultimate Warrior versus the Robbinsdale, Minnesota boys. Oh my God, Kurt and Rude were so much better than both of them. But I bet you I know who went over. Very interesting. Von Erich. Kerry had such a good look, and he wasn't a horrible worker, but man, Rude and Perfect were both a million times better, I think. HBK and Rude would have been a good team. I'm surprised they even had, like, HBK and Rude seems to me that it would have been 2 guys that would have, like, had heat. If Rude and would have been at his prime or been in the ring or something, I could see Rude beating the shit out of Shawn in the locker room or something. Because they had a similar gimmick, like the sexy man type of gimmick, but HBK was such a weakling, got beat up all the time, where Rude was like a guy you didn't want to mess with at all. He's intense as hell. So they were as similar in gimmicks as they were. They couldn't be further apart in terms of, like, toughness as a man.
Completely agree with you, Renee. Grand Metalik soaring through the skies. The king of the ropes, Grand Metalik.
A guy.
Put it on a clinic here. Big back.
And we had Grand Metalik and Kalisto both tweeting about their contract expirations here in the last week or so. Apparently, according to their Twitter accounts, they both have 10 months left and are ready to bounce.
Flying by Lindsay Dorado. Now Ziggler from behind, sending Dorado into the barricade. More unique offense from Metalik. Oh! Shoulders are down. Is it enough to put Dolph away? Kick out at.
I think both guys in their prime, the matches would be fantastic. Shawn was far more athletic, I think, than Rude. But, man, Rude could work, too, though. That might not even be that accurate. Shawn could just do some... All right, Dolph and Rude advanced there. But you give me, like, an 89 Rude versus a 96 Shawn? That would be all right. For the Intercontinental title or something? Oh, man. Or give me 91 Rude. Give me, like, 91 or 92 WCW Heavyweight Champion Rude against 96 Shawn. That would be some good shit. I think 92 Rude versus 2019 Drew McIntyre would be a good match. And throw Razor Ramon in there for good luck and make it a triple threat. All right, Revival. Revival against Rude and Ziggler. Okay. Nice Where's Waldo boots there on one of them. Thank you for the super chat, Chris. Appreciate another one. Well, yeah, I know. I think Rude did eventually not like Shawn at all. Heard Rude hated working with him, and when the screw job happened, Rude dipped, and he's like, "See ya." Fucked over Bret Hart. I choose Bret Hart. Yeah, because Rude, just knowing like the things that we've heard about Rude's personality, I just don't think he would be somebody that would be able to tolerate a backstage personality of Shawn Michaels. But Shawn had much more pull with the company back then. Rude was in on a handshake deal. Rude's probably not going to be back there making any waves, but, you know, a Rick Rude with a good spot in the company, in the same locker room as that jackass Shawn Michaels, Shawn would have been in some trouble. He would have had his head flushed down the toilet, just like Dick Slater did to Sting.
Now Colin elbows high up with Scott Dawson into the headlock. Dolph's a veteran. Dolph knows not to get ahead of himself when you're dealing with technical experts like Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. Here comes Bobby Roode. Robert Roode.
Robert Roode and
I
Dolph
can call
Ziggler.
him Bobby. I'm friends with the guy.
They both have that veteran status here.
Like a have and have not situation. I have. You guys don't.
Yeah, well, Rude was the only guy to ever be on Raw and Raw and Nitro on the same night, but he was the only guy really capable of being. You know, that was a very unique circumstance, and no wrestler has ever done that. Not a Rude or a Luger didn't. Nitro's first show, I'm pretty sure Raw was preempted, so Nitro was unopposed, and that's when Luger showed up. But Rude, it was just one of those really weird situations. The screw job happened, pissed him off. He had no contract, and he could leave. You know, Luger came close to doing that. It just wasn't quite the same thing. But there's never really been another opportunity, because even though Raw had some taped shows, you'd have to find a guy that had some contractual out. The only other person that maybe came close was Sable when she did appear in the front row, but she wasn't on Raw on the same night. So Rude was the only guy that could really even do that. That was just the stars aligning perfectly and allow, because a lot of people like say he's the only guy, you know, to do it. But yeah, like there wouldn't be another guy anyway. You know, he's gonna as soon as he did it, he was going to be going down as the only guy to ever do it. It wasn't going to happen again. That was just a really crazy and surreal situation. November of '97 was a crazy time, and the very next week I would be at that Raw, live in Fayetteville. Daniel, if you're here in the chat, show yourself. We were there together. We talked about that last week. But that was a unique circumstance, and one that'll never be duplicated.
Great deal of adoration for Randy Orton. And when it comes to learning from the all-time
Oh, Mike, 97 RVD and 96 HBK would have been ridiculous. I might even age RVD a little bit. I might put RVD a little more 99 2000 and put him in there with 96 HBK. I think the match would be even better. Because in 97, RVD was still a year or so away, removed from the Jerry Lynn matches and stuff, so, or away from the Jerry Lynn matches. Either match would be good, though.
Dawson with that relentless attitude.
He's got Dawson firmly in control now.
Dawson just punishing Ziggler here.
Mocking
And
him.
Wilder with a cheap shot. Those are the experience intangibles that the Revival possess. Just on the same page at all times. Shot suplex. Dawson covers it enough to advance.
Come on, I'm kind of rooting. I mean, at this point, I guess I'm rooting just for Ziggler and Rude. Makes the most sense. I don't know, Roderick, back in the day, how much of creative content Bobby Heenan have in Rude's character, or if he was just his manager. Was Bobby a Paul Heyman type? No, I don't think Bobby Heenan had too much input on Rude's character. That was kind of WWE created and Rude driven. I think Heenan gave advice and stuff, but not to the degree or level that Paul Heyman did. And Heenan was also never really involved in creative and stuff. Heenan was there to make his money. And he certainly helped the people he's working with. And I'm sure he'd give his advice and give input and knowledge and all that stuff, but Rude's type of gimmick, I don't think really needed any input. Rude had it down. I'm trying to think, when Rude came into WWE, if he was immediately with Heenan. I think he was. But he was already doing his thing for quite a while.
Thought we had an allotted 5 count to make the tag. Brainbuster by Dawson. Ziggler's done.
But all that I'm saying, too, is also completely a guess. That's just what I would guess if I had to bet. But who knows? All right, that's it. The DDT, that's it. Oh, too bad, Revival. Man, I thought the Revival and the OC were on like this resurgence with them being paired up with Orton and AJ, but it's like the opposite is happening. Oh, good, another commercial. Sweet. No, Luger was not. No, that's not right either, Fuller. Luger was at SummerSlam, but that was not the night before the first Nitro. The first Nitro was on September 4th. SummerSlam would have been in August. Luger, I want to say it was the week after. So it was SummerSlam, and then you had Raw, and then the week after that you had Nitro. So a full 8 or 9 days went by before Lex Luger worked. But Luger may have worked a house show the night before. But it wasn't SummerSlam. But I'll tell you this, though. Luger appearing on Nitro, I remember this word was already leaked out about, I'd say 2 to 3 weeks before SummerSlam. Like way in early August, that Luger could be in WCW or heading there. I remember hearing that in the hotlines. I was aware of the rumor. And then, when they did the Monday Night Raw where Luger was absent and Davey Boy Smith turned heel, that's when I started thinking to myself, oh shit, he's gone. Because he wasn't there. They're splitting up the Allied Powers. I've been hearing rumors about Luger going to WCW. To me, that told me right there, that Raw was when I realized Luger was gone. So I already knew Luger was going to WCW. I just didn't know that he was going to show up on the first Nitro. So people look back on that as like it was a big shocking moment, and it definitely was, and it was definitely memorable, and it definitely fired the first shot. But if I as a fan knew that Luger was going to be heading to WCW, you knew WWE expected him to show up on that show. Like, they knew. Like, I seriously doubt they were watching that and like, oh, Luger's there, holy shit. I think they knew that he was gone. They were already taking steps to get him out. He did appear at SummerSlam. He did a run-in in Diesel's match. He came out and helped out. But it was like another week after that he was gone. So it was before SummerSlam. This was before SummerSlam that I heard about Luger going to WCW. And there was already talk of it. And it was making a lot of sense because Hogan had left, Savage had left. It made sense that somebody else would go too. So to me, I remember not really loving Luger and being like, good, fuck him. You know, see ya. And then they debuted him on the first Nitro. So I always tell people, like, as crazy as it sounds, you know, I was not as shocked as others. Like, I heard the rumblings, and I wasn't the only one. Anybody that was calling hotlines or reading dirt sheets at the time, I know there was Luger rumors in there prior to that time.
Frozen bites
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Burger King introduces the maple waffle sandwich.
Yeah, Hogan had a few matches with Rude, but they never had like a pay-per-view program. Would have been good. But Hogan back then,
Stay for the maple waffle sandwich.
he was working by that point in his career. He would always feel like he was working with the bigger guys. Early in his career, he'd work with smaller guys, Piper and Orndorff. But as he got going there, it was always like the Bundys and the Andres and the Studs and Earthquake and all that shit, you know? Sid, Yoko, you know, every opponent he had was always bigger.
At this particular juncture, Hawkins and Ryder have got to be considered the favorites considering Dolph.
Yes, Matt G, Ricochet, and Drew had a fantastic match earlier on, and Ricochet beat him. I had Drew winning this match and being on my short list of guys to win the whole tournament, and Ricochet beat him. So now with Drew out, my money, with Drew and Owens out, I got to go Andrade. Or Corbin.
Post goes Hawkins. There goes Robert Roode to the outside. Super.
The King of the Ring final really has to be a babyface heel.
Is it enough to put Ryder away? It is.
All right, Ziggler and Rude advance again.
Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder have been eliminated.
Ziggler and Robert Roode are one win away from heading to Clash of Champions. I've got to say, I'm nothing short of shocked right now by the performance that Roode and Ziggler have put on as a team. Notice how Dolph is almost still competing as an individual. Oh, this is going to get even.
Oh, there's Heavy Machinery. Hell, these guys might win, man. You give me Otis and Strowman in the same ring? That might be fun.
Dolph's been competing like Dolph Ziggler always does at the highest level. And Robert Roode has more or less handled all the peripheral tag team work, so to speak. It's very effective. It's very impressive.
Well, they're the feeling out process. The things have been looking good.
Yeah, King Andrade all the way. I agree. Lords of London. It's Lloyd's. But yeah, there's a lot of guys that had the Lloyd's of London insurance policies and got paid on that. And Rude was one of them. Hennig had the same type of deal, and there was a lot of, it was going to cost too much money to kind of like get out of it. I think the insurance policy was really what kept Rude out of the ring, which is interesting because he was called the insurance policy when DX brought him in, or when Shawn brought him in. But the whole reason why he couldn't get back in the ring was because of that. And he'd have to pay back the money or something like that. So it sucked. And by what, 2000, by 1999, he would pass away. 20 years.
Not gonna be that easy.
Tucker, I don't give much of a shit about, but Otis I love. Tucker sort of reminds me of Brian Clark. A little bit. Little atom bomb. Not in nearly as good a shape, but... Yo. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And I'm sure it's something Heavy Machinery always does. But I've never seen a vertical suplex transferred into somebody else. Here, take over this vertical suplex for me. It's actually something I've never seen.
And here comes Big Tucker. Fluid tag team work by Otis and Tucker. Great agility.
On the chest of Dolph Ziggler.
Barry, thanks for the $2. Anything to say on Ronda joining Total Divas? I didn't know she was joining Total Divas. She's not a diva. You know what? It's probably interesting. I can see why. If Ronda's willing to do it, then that's going to be great publicity for them. Bringing in Ronda Rousey to be on that show. Hopefully she'll have some conflict and beat the shit out of somebody in a jacuzzi or something.
Outside the ring, using everything to his disposal. And I don't think there's any disputing to this point. Robert Roode.
Steven Scott, that was one of my favorite episodes ever of WWF Superstars. They resurrected it in the mid-90s. The Superstars was just syndicated all over the place. And I remember around in 96, it might have been on the USA Network by that point. I think by that point it was out of syndication. They moved it back to USA. And Perfect was on commentary. And Austin, this would have been like late 96. And he came out to do guest commentary, and the two of them got in each other's faces. And you thought they were going to lead to a match. And that was when Perfect was gearing up for his return against Hunter Hearst Helmsley. But him and Austin getting each other's face was good. I liked it. I remember being really excited during that episode, being like, "Holy shit, this is great!" And nothing ever came of it. It was a fun tease.
It's a short time to gel for Ziggler and Roode, but man, everyone's got to be impressed.
I don't know about Mike Witt. Thanks for $5. I wasn't, I don't know. I haven't even thought about who his mystery partners might be. AEW on Fox? Holy shit. Where's WWE going to go? TNT? I'm kidding. I think I know what you mean there. I got no clue either. To me, we got to get through All Out. Let's see how All Out goes. And then maybe we'll have a better idea.
Oh, Dolph's doing everything he can to keep the big man down.
Veteran experience. And Dolph, caught by Tucker. Launched into that. Oh, man. He hit the post. Dolph might be out. This is an incredible.
Dolph takes that post shot good. A lot better than Cesaro, who jammed his mess all up. Man, ugh. Still gives me the willies.
Tag their respective partners.
Dolph's close to Robert. Here we go.
Rude tag, Otis tag. Well, here comes Otis.
Owen House.
A physical anomaly, but very effective. Just squashing Dolph in the corner. And now the power as he scoops Rude up.
And speed.
Oh, yeah. It's all right, Mike Witt. That botch was not nearly as bad as Vince McMahon's. Remember on the buyout Raw? When they took over WCW and they did the simulcast and Vince is in the ring on Raw? And he goes, not only am I being seen right now on TNT, or no, he says being seen right here on TNN. He goes, I can also be seen on Nitro right now on TNN. He just fucked up. So his was much worse than yours. He probably still regrets that.
Ziggler and Rude are down. Come on, make Mama's dreams come true.
Make Mama's dreams come true. Renee, this is your dream?
Say it again. Oh, no. All of a sudden he turns into the Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah. Oh, Rude from behind.
Oh, shit. I thought Rude was going to pick up a quick one there on old Otis. I think Machinery might go over here. I don't know.
By Otis to advance. Rude gets the shoulder up. Just barely, but Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler still in this battle.
Come on, Rude and Ziggler. I'm rooting for you.
Longer. Here comes Tucker. Heavy Machinery looking to put Rude away.
Here comes Dolph.
And so
Yeah, I was about to say super kick someone.
Tucker, they're looking for the compactor. Zigzag! Gone. Otis on top of Tucker. That is a tough
All right, Tucker's ripe. Let's get him, Rude. Hit him with the DDT. Call it a day.
Robert Roode now.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is, the glorious DDT.
Is this for the win or is there somebody else?
On Tucker, is it enough? It is.
That's it. They won. All right, they're getting the title shot. Well, I wouldn't have expected that at the beginning of the night. If you would have told me that Strowman and Rollins are going to defend their title against Dolph and Ziggler, I'd have been like, what the fuck are you saying?
Win 4 matches to advance to Clash of Champions with tag team titles. A pair of unlikely tag team champions in Seth Rollins, who happens to be the Universal Champion, and the monster among men, Braun Strowman.
Didn't they have matches together when Rude first came in?
But you can't help but be impressed with what you've seen over the past 2 weeks from the champions and the new challenge.
No holds barred. In WrestleMania 7, Warrior took 7 elbow drops from Savage. No one talks about it. Your thoughts? I've talked about it. I thought that was ridiculous. I loved the match, but I hated the match. I didn't like the supernatural, like Warrior can do anything. Then he just beat the shit out of Savage, and then Warrior hit him with like 10 shoulder tackles and then pinned him with a boot on the chest. But I didn't like when, the one thing I hated about it that I thought was so dumb was when like Warrior was on the outside of the ring like questioning the power above, if he can continue, and all that, and Gorilla is trying to narrate it, and it's horrible. But yeah, the 7 elbow drops after Savage had beaten everybody with it.
I don't know who's attacking me, why they're attacking me. It's one thing to be in that ring, it's another to attack me backstage.
And we can get on Roman all we want for kicking out of too many F5s at WrestleMania. Warrior started this shit. Oh, let's replay all these attacks. I'm still thinking it's got to be Bryan.
This has affected my life.
Bryan would be the best.
It's affected my livelihood and the opportunity to protect and provide for my family. I've seen the footage. I got questions.
Haha. Is that what I said against Dolphin Ziggler? I'm not tipsy.
So that makes me assume that you did it, but you know exactly who did it.
Don't know who did it. But if I did, I still wouldn't tell you a damn thing.
No, Undertaker and Warrior never had any memorable matches, but they had some memorable encounters. I think the most scared I ever was of the Undertaker. I think it was after they first did the funeral parlor where they locked Warrior in the casket. That was gnarly. But then they did like a Saturday Night's Main Event where Warrior worked Slaughter. Rematch from the Royal Rumble. And Paul Bearer wheeled a casket out and opened it up, and Undertaker sat up and like looked, did that thing where he looked. And even Bobby Heenan is like, ooh, like it freaked Heenan out. And I remember being like a young teenage kid and, you know, maybe been a little bit scared. Maybe might have slept a little uneasy that night. And then the snake thing when Jake turned on him and Undertaker was involved in that. So all of their segments that they did together were good, but their matches weren't very good. And I think when they were working the live events, Warrior was winning them all. And then Warrior would come back in '92. There is a match that exists. I have it on I have it on tape on a VHS somewhere. But Warrior and Taker tagged up in a match. They faced, I don't remember who they faced. I think it was like Berserker, maybe Berserker and Papa Shango or something like that. And they teamed up, and I remember thinking it was really weird because their feud was scary, and now they're like friends. It was just weird. Man, WWE is going to be promoting the hell out of this NXT. You know, Bruce, I agree with the boot on the chest thing. However, I would have been okay with it had Warrior stuck around. Because what was so ironic about that match, it was a retirement match. Savage lost and retired, but then came back at the same time Warrior was let go. And it made no sense. You know, like, had Warrior stuck around and went on a run and then, I don't know, had a rematch with Hogan for the title, either at SummerSlam or at WrestleMania 8 the following year, then maybe it would have been just a big victory to solidify Warrior as a megastar, beating another megastar and retiring him and beating him decisively. All of that in terms of star building, I'd be okay with it. But Warrior, you know, didn't last. By SummerSlam, he'd be out of there, and then Savage would wind up coming back. And then Warrior would leave again. Hell, Savage would come back in like late 91 with his feud with Jake. Warrior would get let go right after SummerSlam 91. You fast forward a year to SummerSlam 92. Warrior's back. Savage is champion now. They have another match at SummerSlam. And then they become tag team partners and Warrior leaves again. And Savage has to replace him with Perfect. So had Warrior stuck around, remained a big star, remained there and not had any problems or backstage stuff or contract issues or money issues or anything like that with Vince or the powers that be, and was there as a big star and went in to win the title again, because he only won one title. He only won one WWE title. I mean, the Intercontinental title, but world title was just once. For a star as big as him, you would think would be a two-time champion or three-time champion. He wasn't. Things just never worked out for him. Could never keep his shit together. Steroids, problems with Vince, whatever it was. Lack of love for the business, things like that just didn't keep him there. Making money probably as long as he should have, considering who he was working with. Beating Hogan clean at WrestleMania 6. That alone should be enough to make somebody a star for life. Never worked for him. So fuck him.
You've got this.
Yeah, definitely.
Get a discount up to 30% with Drive Safe.
That would have been a better match. I would have enjoyed that tag match at SummerSlam more. Steven Scott, you're right. You do Hogan and Warrior versus Taker and Jake. Hell yeah. Turn Jake a little earlier than you did.
For just $7.99. No one
But you look back at that, too, it is kind of weird. Because I wonder if WWE knew that Warrior was going to be gone after SummerSlam. Because at that same show that Warrior supposedly held up WWE for money, and after the match, after they got through the match, Vince fired him. By the end of that show, Jake and Taker were interfering in Savage's wedding. So maybe they had planned for Savage and Warrior to team up together to combat Jake and Taker. Or they knew Warrior was leaving and they were moving Jake on to another opponent against Savage. But yeah, they might have originally had planned Warrior and Savage to team up to go against Taker and Jake. That was likely the plan. But otherwise it worked out. With Warrior leaving, Jake had a brand new opponent in Savage. And a better opponent, because that was crazy stuff. Oh yeah, here it is. Rousey joining Total Divas. I wasn't even aware of this. October 2nd, huh? I'm still to this day yet to see one episode of Total Divas. Alright, here we go with Sasha and Natalya. Her first match since WrestleMania. Crazy. Yeah, 92 was an effed up time. Bulldog leaving too, right after he won the Intercontinental title. Like right after that. Dropped it to Shawn, he was gone. Off to WCW. Such a shame. Think this match will end in a DQ? Maybe.
I've been running this women's division since day one because I am the boss of the women's division, because I am the talk of this division. And now I deserve all this glory.
Natalya, the way she runs. I thought your elbow was hurt. I mean, I think Sasha should take advantage of her injured arm and just beat Natalya. Or maybe Becky just runs out and they have a big brawl. Either way there.
Natalya, in a way, fighting on behalf of all the women in the entire WWE who aren't exactly happy to see Sasha Banks back around. Well, Sasha Banks came out here and she admitted that she lied to Natalya's face.
Oh, I pretend the Warriors run in WCW didn't exist. In my head, that never happened. It never happened. I'm so glad you're not wearing your stupid ears this time, Natalya. I really dislike those. I dislike Natalya's ears as much as I dislike Bayley's inflatable things.
These attacks on Natalya in the worst possible moments. Just such bad taste from Sasha Banks. Everything you've been saying about Banks.
All right, good to see Sasha back in the ring. I mean, yeah, barring any sort of Becky interference here, I agree. I think Sasha just needs to attack the arm and beat her. But I don't think have they officially announced the Sasha and Becky match yet, so maybe they don't. Maybe Becky comes out here and costs Sasha the match. That's what I'd do. I'd have Becky come out here and cost her the match, help out Natalya. That'll piss Sasha off. How about I face you for the title, like Clash of Champions? Okay, you little dummy and you dope, but we'll do it right now and we'll face you or whatever. I can't do her accent. But you know Becky and her weird-ass lines. And that's how you set it up. And plus, being at Sasha's first match back, if she loses it, that'll just piss her off even more. Might actually be better than her winning. Oh, Bobby Heenan's best nights on commentary? That's an interesting one. Royal Rumble, of course. #1 easily. Royal Rumble 92. #1 performance. WrestleMania 8, I agree. Survivor Series. Depends on which one. 93 maybe? He left the next night. in SummerSlam 92. I don't remember much about SummerSlam 92. I remember King of the Ring 93. I thought he was good there. I think he was good at SummerSlam 91.
If Sasha's knocked off tonight in her in-ring return since WrestleMania. This is just a display of the power that Natalya possesses, launching Sasha Banks, folding the boss in half.
In the 80s, was I NWA or WWF? I was actually both. I lived in the Carolinas, but I still was WWF. I would still watch all the Saturday Night's main events and the Superstar shows and the pay-per-views, and then NWA I would catch just whenever it was on, or whenever I thought about it. But I watched plenty of episodes at 605 in my life. More than I can count, but I was still probably lean more to WWF. Okay, did Mike Rome, is that the ring announcer's name? Did he jump the barricade? Is he in with the audience? Is he mingling in with the humanoids? What are you doing, dude?
And now the cover by Banks. Natalya just manages to get the shoulder up.
Listen, never once at any point have I questioned the...
Yeah, congratulations to the happy couple, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, engaged this past week. Good for them.
Sasha Banks. It's been a character flaw because she's been acting like something that she's not. We are finally...
Yeah, I've never been a fan of Natty's ring gear. This is one of my, not one of my most hated ones. I have ones that I like worse. Some of her outfits are just way too elaborate for me.
Jealous that she was upset that Becky Lynch got the main event spot at WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey and not her.
You heard what Becky Lynch had to say too. The greatest woman to never
Damn.
actually be great.
You know, Heenan wasn't horrible in WCW either. He had some memorable nights. One of Bobby Heenan's more underrated parts of his commentary, it was in WCW when he would call cruiserweight matches, because even though he didn't know the names of a lot of these moves, he made it entertaining that he didn't know, you know? And he had Mike Tenay there with him to kind of guide him through shit, but just to hear his reactions, because Bobby Heenan is an old school guy, got started, you know, in the 60s. So for him to see shit like he was seeing from Mysterio and Guerrero and guys like that, he was marking out for real. Those were genuine, authentic reactions from him because he couldn't believe what he was seeing. I loved listening to him to call cruiserweight matches because he would get so excited about what he was seeing. So go watch some of those. You'll see what I'm talking about. He's great. Heenan was the man. She's just choking Natalya out with her own bad arm. That's it. Goodbye, Natalya. Well, I said, but barring any Becky interference, Sasha just needs to beat her here. Sasha looks good. I gotta give it to her. I think that time away from her helped her. Chat site forums, don't forget Peyton got married too. We don't like to think about things like that here on the channel. You should call Tito Santana the Flying Jalapeno. Interesting spelling on that. Oh, and she's going to attack Natalya some more. Nobody was more brutal on Tito than Jesse Ventura. He was horrible. Fucking borderline racist. I think my favorite Jesse the Body Ventura call on a Tito Santana match was when Tito hit the forearm, and he goes, Santana learned that flying forearm move in the Mexican Football League, the MFL. I don't know why I laughed at that, but I remember it to this day. I don't remember where that match happened, but I just remember that line by Jesse. Chico Santana, yeah. Yeah, definitely not my least favorite Sasha ring gear, that's for sure.
We continue to see a different side to the boss, Sasha Banks. But now, please welcome my guest, the United States Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Thank you, Kyra Brinkston. AJ's talking, y'all.
Last week on Raw, Gallows and
Jesse did put down Hacksaw a lot. As a matter of fact, I remember watching TV on Saturday morning and hearing Jesse Ventura call Hacksaw Jim Duggan retarded. He said that word. I couldn't believe it. I still can't. He was awful. Yeah, I think to Hacksaw and Tito, he was probably the worst.
What? But you don't think I can thrive without Gallows and Anderson in my corner? Well, maybe you forgot how phenomenal I am.
I haven't forgotten how phenomenal you are, AJ.
Everybody's in the ring. Everyone. Everyone except for me. And he thinks he's going to walk out of Clash of Champions with all the gold? Well, how's he going to do that? Because he's not going to get his hands on my United States Championship. Not tonight or any other.
Oh, I loved Gorilla Monsoon's body parts.
I'm going to give him what he deserves.
The subscleriary and the occipital protuberance and all that shit that he would say, and Jesse would get so mad at him. He's like, "Will you knock it off? It's the back." I thought Jesse was a great commentator. Not everything he says really ages well at all, but I liked it. What am I drinking, man? This is pretty intense. Ruination, Stone Ruination, double IPA 2.0, 8.5 alcohol. I'm drinking this and I'm done. I'm not drinking any more of these. But that's all I have in my fridge right now. My parents gave me a ton of beer all the way back at the Super Bowl. They had a big Super Bowl party, and they had all these like cases and cases of beer. So the next time I went over there for a dinner one night, they're like, "You want some beer? We got a ton of it in the garage. Just take it." So I took like a few 6-packs, and I've had that in my fridge ever since. So whenever I don't have my easy drinking Stellas, I'll just crack one of these open. But they are strong, super strong. Oh yeah, lateral collateral ligament. Thank you.
Whose dog is this? It's my special friend Antonio.
I miss Gorilla. I'm proud to say that I was in the audience for his very last appearance. I was at WrestleMania 15, and he would be dead by October. I think of October he'd pass away that year.
Antonio.
Crazy cat lady would be an excellent gimmick for Natalya. Totally. Weird lady lives down the street with 9 cats. Decorates her mailbox for every holiday, including Flag Day. That should be Natalya's gimmick.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question.
Oh, another one of my favorite Bobby Heenan moments. This would have been on Monday Night Raw. I'll never forget this. Because Monday Night Raw, during its first few months, aired live. And for the first few shows at the Manhattan Center, Bobby Heenan, they would have a behind the announce booth camera shot, like over the shoulder of the commentators. And Bobby Heenan would take the remote control and start changing the channel on the monitor that he's watching at the announce desk. And they would be showing this, and he would be flipping channels. And so one time I tested it. I was in the other room with another TV. This would have been 1993. And I start flipping the channels, and he's got like ESPN on or something. And I turn to ESPN, and it's the same show. And I think that's when it like proved to myself in my head that it actually is live. And so Bobby Heenan was legit changing the channels, and I changed it to the same channel that he was on. And it was crazy. I'll just never forget that. I don't remember what episode that was. It's in the very early days of Monday Night Raw, first few months when they were still in the Manhattan Center. And Heenan used to do that. He's like, this match is boring, and he'd change the channel. So they must have had that TV rigged up to cable. Probably so they could monitor other shit that's going on. Yeah, Eric, I have checked out Dark Side of the Ring, a few of those episodes. All right, here comes Cedric. Who's Cedric wrestling? Man, it's Cedric and Corbin next week. That makes me nervous. I'm sure Bobby was a big fan of silk stockings, weren't we all? I watched a lot of USA Network in my life just because of wrestling, and so a lot of times I would see these shows. I wouldn't necessarily watch them, but they would be on. You know, like if Raw is off, when Raw goes off the air, sometimes I'd just leave the TV on and silk stockings would come on or something else. And then, like in the 90s, they did that show with the bicycle cops and all that stuff, and then La Femme Nikita and all that. But silk stockings was like, it always opened with some real like sex scene. Like there'd be something sexy and then somebody would die or something. It was usually some dude killing a woman in the middle of fucking her, which is not good. Takeover Cardiff. I will not even be able to see that show at all. Probably until after All Out. It'll probably be Sunday or something. If I'm able to take a look at any of that, it's not going to be until Sunday. Well, this match on paper, Cesaro and Alexander, is not too shab. Tuesday Night Fight, Pacific Blue. Thank you. That's what it was.
Speed bump. Look at this. You could totally derail the momentum. Oh, Lord God. Derail the
to Samoa Joe last week.
And now Alexander.
Oh, yeah. Up All Night. Yeah, Rhonda Shearer. That would have been 94 because they brought Rhonda in to do WrestleMania 10. She was horrible. She was obnoxious. She reminded me of Missy Hyatt. Same type of look. Blonde hair. Relatively sizable chest, things like that. Bright, intense makeup. I think a lot of us called that out. Cedric and Drew doing a rematch in the tournament here. I thought that would happen for sure.
Precision of Cesaro.
Best Heenan line ever. I told Bundy, you never touch a midget. You never know where they've been. Oh, man. I remember when Heenan was talking about Stu and Helen. Stu and Helen Hart had 12 kids. They had one of each.
Everybody in the back says Samoa Joe, of course, thought differently last week.
And Cesaro looking to wear down Alexander, doing a great job grounding.
Flair versus Savage versus Flair versus Steamboat. I'm going Flair Steamboat because it felt like it lasted longer. Although Savage and Flair would rekindle things in WCW, but I remember them for that 92 feud. But Flair and Steamboat had a little more longevity there.
And Cesaro looking to take a breather. But Alexander can do some damage with his opponent outside the ring.
Oh, love from the WWE Universe.
Alexander launching himself. Oh, and he takes out Cesaro. Cesaro landing hard. Alexander, such a joy to watch.
Yeah, Austin Taker was gone for WrestleMania 10. He was injured. That was a shame. Taker wasn't there. Hogan wasn't there.
Every single opportunity he gets, he rises to the occasion.
Now goes Cesaro. Here's the cover by Alexander. Can he knock off Cesaro? Hook the leg and a kick out. What a year it will be if Alexander can win the King of the Ring tournament.
He's already said I'm going to claim my throne and be named King of the Ring.
Well, Cedric won his match, and Cesaro lost his.
You want to talk about King of the Ring being a launching pad for so many people's careers. This could be it for Cedric.
Cesaro Alexander continues live.
James, I'm definitely going Brett and Owen over Brett and Austin at WrestleMania. I just like the Brett and Owen Hart match because as great as Austin and Bret Hart was, and that was memorable as hell, you take away the blood, what do you have there? You had a lot of brawling through the crowd, not really great moments, where Owen and Brett was just 18 minutes of just pure beautiful wrestling, nonstop. Austin and Brett didn't have a lot of that. They had more drama. Brett and Owen had more wrestling. So for that reason, I'm going for Brett and Owen. I like any match that can be memorable without any crazy. You know, I give Brett and Owen a ton of credit for pulling off a cage match with no blood. Nobody even cared. There was no blood. It was just as good as any cage match with blood that I've ever seen. And then WrestleMania 10, they just put on a show, man. It was awesome. They didn't need any extra, you know. Where Austin was going into that match kind of injured, too. Austin didn't even have a submission move, and he's in a submission match, you know, and in order to make that match not suck, you had to do something a little bit crazy. You know, Mankind and Undertaker would resort to the same thing at the King of the Ring when Undertaker was injured going into that match, too. And it's a Hell in the Cell, and you got to follow what Shawn and Taker did in '97. How are you going to do that unless you do something insane? So Mick did. And he made it the most memorable damn match ever. Sid versus Braun Strowman. Sid in his prime versus Strowman? I think Strowman's more athletic. But Sid just had such a great look, man. Austin had the $1 Million Dream. That wasn't a submission, though. That just puts your opponent to sleep. You have to say, like, I quit. I give up. Nobody really taps out from the $1 Million Dream. Yeah, the famous Bret Hart and 1-2-3 Kid match just had its 25th anniversary. I should have done a This Day in History on that. That was one of my favorite Raw matches of all time, especially during that time. '94 was such a bad year. The Raw TVs were held in the tiniest of little gymnasiums with 300 people there. It was just bad. And those two guys put on a hell of a match. The only critique I have with that match that I never liked is that they went a little bit overboard with the babyface respect. To the point where 1-2-3 Kid's calling him Mr. Bret Hart, and I just want to have a good match and everything. And then Bret beats him when Kid has a foot on the rope, and Bret's like, no, I don't want to win like that. To me, that was taking it one step too far. They didn't need to do the false finish, and they didn't need to do the restart. So if you take that out of it and just have the match, it was fucking best match probably in the entire lifespan of Raw up until the late 90s there. So that was great. And I just think it went just a sliver overboard, and I would not have done the false finish where Bret just tries to be, you know, because that's something now that we would puke at. You know, if a wrestler won a match and they're like, no, I don't want to win that way, restart the match. You know, back in '94, you respected it. Back in 2019, you'd probably shit on it. At least with the audience mindset the way it is now. So I remember at the time not liking that. I think Bret should have just taken the victory and walked. Or they just don't do that spot at all. They don't do the finish. They just do the match and have Bret beat him, and that's it. No restart, no nothing. So if I had one thing to change, I'd change that.
And again, so much of Alexander's offense is based on his legs and his leaping ability and his high flying ability. And Cesaro has done an effective job of shutting that down. And, Alexander, however,
Still has some in the tank.
you see him limping around and just not enough power there. Just one push, still able to turn it around. Michinoku driver by Alexander and Cesaro at 2. And Baron Corbin looking on.
Baron scoping out his opponent for next week. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'd probably Shawn and Taker if I had to pick a greatest match of all time. It's nearly impossible to vote against that.
A victory over The Miz.
I was just happy that the greatest match of all time was capable of taking place in 2009.
Alexander just can't do it. Just does not have enough.
And in greatest match of all time, I'm talking a match that has everything. It has the ring work, has the drama, has the stage. You can say, what about Real Ospreay and Ricochet? They weren't at the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania. They were at an indie show in front of 16 people. I'm talking about like an actual big event, big stage, big stars, great ring work, great drama, great fan interaction, a match that like checks every possible box. That match is one of the very few that checks every box. Bret, Shawn, WrestleMania 12, Savage Steamboat, a couple of NWA matches maybe, but none of them come that close.
Watch the impact here. Cesaro with a superplex to Alexander.
Dude, you can't really come up here right now, man. Sorry. Raw is on. 30 minutes.
But again, with King of the Ring next week, you might have to wonder, should Cedric perhaps tap out there?
A little bit of a breather. Think about the future.
Cesaro begging for Alexander to make it back to his feet. And Alexander.
Oh my God!
That was awesome.
Is it enough to put Cesaro away? Almost had a near fall. Alexander cannot
I mean, Alexander has to win this match, right?
In his left knee.
Oh, Shane, easily.
Look at that impact.
And I don't know what's going on there with your avatar. I'm not sure there. But, best match you ever saw was Taker versus Giant Gonzalez easily. I think Taker and Giant Gonzalez should have worked an Iron Man match. Would have been great. Maybe a ladder match. Because with Giant Gonzalez's agility, he could be so quick up that ladder. He'd probably shooting star press off of it right on top of Taker. Okada Omega WrestleMania, Wrestle Kingdom 11. Definitely on my list. Look at Cesaro with a clover leaf and the knee in his back. Oh, now just a half crab.
His entire weight out into the lower back of Alexander, causing the pressure on the leg. Cedric Alexander grasping for the bottom rope, has to feel his opportunity to become king of the ring in jeopardy at the moment. And if you're Baron Corbin, you got to be licking your chops.
I thought Cedric was going for a Hell's Gate.
Alexander now.
Damn.
Down. Is it enough to put Cesaro away? Almost had him. Back elbow connects. Has Cesaro locked for the moment.
Come on, buddy. You're going to fall off here, man. I got a cat in my lap. That's not going to work, dude. You got to go. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's Monday, man. You know the rules. Damn, that was a sweet lumbar check. Jesus. Yeah, you have to put Cedric over there. Giant Gonzalez versus Great Khali. My God. You have to put a ladder in there. All right, AJ, let's hang on to your belt if we can. I don't want you to lose it. Oh, Flair Funk was a good one. Yeah, thanks for the super chat, Mike Witt. Just Flair worked with all the big NWA stars. I like Flair's run with Funk and Rhodes and Race. Sting. Kazarni versus MVP. Kazarni, I think, follows me on Twitter. When did that match take place? SmackDown sometime? I like MVP. I wasn't a huge fan of the gimmick, but I like him as a person. Whenever I've seen him in interviews, years since he's been gone from WWE, he seems like a guy that's just a smart, well-spoken dude, has his shit together. I like him. I think he could be a decent personality, wrestling manager or something. Yes, I did get my hair did. I'm glad you like it. I'm thinking about putting highlights in maybe next time. I'm also cheating. I'm taking a bunch of skin and I'm combing it over so it looks fuller. So it's really not as good as it looks for real. Yeah, MVP can talk. He's got a personality. He'd be a great manager. He's made appearances. He was on the Raw show last year playing poker with the APA and shit, right? I remember one thing I specifically liked about MVP, and I don't remember when I saw this or where. It's been years. But I watched some interview with him where he had one of the most intelligent takes on the Chris Benoit situation that I've ever heard. Much like Chris Jericho, I really respected Jericho's going out there and trying to silence some of the misinformation that was out there about the whole thing. I mean, Jericho was the right guy to do that, and MVP was the same way. I don't even remember specifically what he said. I just remember when I saw the interview, I'm like, I like him. He's right, you know. Just respected his opinion on it and agreed with him, kind of thing. So whatever he's up to these days, I hope he's doing all right. And you guys are friends with him. Tell him hello.
What do you do, bro? I'm an engineer at IBM. And I work in our Watson Internet of Things division also, and better.
Oh, really cool.
The fun part for me of inventing is
Oh my God, Tony Schiavone, it's the Yeti.
problem solving.
What I love about products like
That was, man, prior to Hall and Nash getting to Nitro or getting to WCW, they had some of the craziest shit. There's nothing in the entire, well, maybe that's not true. I'm sure there's something, but not many things that is more cringy than the fucking Dungeon of Doom in WCW. That was so crazy and so stupid. God. And the funny thing is, I remember, like, Eric Bischoff, whenever he's on 83 Weeks or whenever he does an interview, he complains about revisionist history, being able to rewrite stories and tell them in your own vision, you know, like the way WCW or WWE does in DVDs when they say the way things went down and they kind of change things up to make themselves look as good as possible. One thing I distinctly remember Bischoff saying time and time again in interviews when coming up with the idea for Nitro in a primetime show to go head-to-head with Raw is he goes, you know, we want to be different. WWE is taped. We want to go live. WWE is more geared towards kids with the cartoony gimmicks. We want to be more real life. How in the world can he make that statement when you had something like the Dungeon of Doom there? And the Zodiac and Kevin Sullivan or the Taskmaster and King Curtis and, you know, Hogan entered that weird dungeon and the giant fell off a building and lived and, you know, how can he say that? You know, they didn't get realistic until Hall and Nash got there. That's when shit got real. When Hall came through the crowd. And you were under the impression that a couple of WWF guys, came in and are invading and trying to take over. That's when it got real. You know? A year after Nitro launched. So Bischoff tries to pretend that he wanted his product to be more edgy and more realistic and more adult-based. It didn't get that way until Hall and Nash got there. Because prior to that, you had Dungeon of Doom, you had Hogan, Flair, Savage, Elizabeth and the high heel shoe, and a lot of rehashing of what they did in WWE. Oh, they're replaying this 24/7 shit. So R-Truth won the belt, and then the Fox guy won it from him, and I think, did Elias win it back? I forgot what happened. I know one person who didn't win it. Poor little Drake Maverick. It is interesting with WWE going to Fox, and it's probably going to be co-promoted with the NFL a lot, but Vince is also starting the XFL. Isn't that weird? Like, you know, on these Fox NFL Sundays, there's going to be WWE influences probably all football season long. But Vince McMahon is starting a competitor to the NFL. It's all just weird. It's all like infused and entwined. Oh, he fell. I can't believe R-Truth let that white boy pin him. Rob Stone.
An exciting weekend for the 24/7 championship.
Good to see you back, Misty Carmichael.
My guests at this time, who are heading to Clash of Champions to face Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins. Please welcome Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Dolph, Robert, how did this team happen?
Well, you know, backstage with WWE superstars, I don't trust any of them.
I don't know, Mediocre Madman. It's still competition. I know it's not going head-to-head in the same league or anything, but back to their prior, when XFL launched in like 2001, they were very clear what they wanted to do. They wanted to compete with the NFL. They wanted to compete for that fan base that liked their product of football better than the NFL. No, there's definitely competition there. It's just not direct. It's maybe not like NXT and AEW, but it's another football league here in the United States that's, if it gets, eventually becomes big, I don't know if it will or not, but if it does reach success, you have now options for players to go.
You're looking at the real main eventers in WWE, baby. See, when this opportunity
But now with the deal with Fox, maybe WWE will lighten up on their trashing of the NFL, because when they first started this years ago, they were making fun of the NFL and calling them out, and it's not real football and all this, and I don't think they're going to have that attitude this time, but
when you're hot, baby. You see, this team didn't come together on a whim. This is destiny. Not only are we the most talented, most athletic, best-looking tag team in all of WWE, at Clash of Champions, we're going to become the next Raw Tag Team Champions.
when exactly was this team put together? Just tonight in a graphic on Raw? And they're like, oh, guess what? They're a team now. Glorious. Oh, Street Profits are back. That crown looks good on you, man. Look like shit on Baron Corbin.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, Monday Night Raw has been...
Yeah, happy birthday to Vince. Birthday was maybe yesterday. 73 or 4 years old. What is he now? Man. I think he's 74.
Against the Raw Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. Duly note, this is the same exact night that Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman go one-on-one for the Universal title. Dawkins, is it possible for these young men to hold it together?
I mean, they're using these guys just to promote the matches. Oh, Lord. Have you been hanging out with No Way Jose? Oh, no, they're in New Orleans. Okay. Did they reboot American Gladiators? Didn't they do something with them? I remember the 90s version of it, the 80s or 90s, watching that as a kid. It was a crazy show, man. I don't know, Dustin. I've been asked that before. If I could have any 2 or 3 man commentary team or announced team comprised of anyone from any era, any company, who would you choose? I'd have to do thinking on that, on like chemistry and stuff, because you don't want to automatically pick the best 3, because the same holds true in sports. Just because you have the best players doesn't mean you have the best team. So I don't know if I just want to put like Gordon Soley and Jim Ross and Mauro Ranallo in the same booth, because their wires would be so crossed, you know. So you wouldn't want to necessarily pick the best. You know, you'd want to pick a good play-by-play with a good color guy and then a good third guy. You know, so maybe I'd go like Mauro Ranallo, Jesse Ventura, and probably not even Heenan. I don't know I don't know what I'd do. I'd have to think about that. It's not as simple as just taking the 3 best or the 3 most famous or, you know, the 3 most successful. You got to think about like who would work good together and who you'd like to hear interact and bounce ideas and thoughts off of each other, and it would just take some time. I mean, I don't know if you could could Mauro Ranallo and Gorilla Monsoon work together? I don't think so. If you threw in Heenan, it could be a clusterfuck, you know? So you got to balance your chemistries and shit, you know? And if you have no basis for comparison, or you have no prior team-ups of any of these guys, you don't know how their chemistry is going to be. We've never seen it. It's kind of a hard question. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough, man. Because another thing I wouldn't do, like I wouldn't put like Heenan and Gorilla together if you have a 3-man team, because Heenan and Gorilla are better by themselves. You know, so I wouldn't even put them together in the same one, you know?
Know who's on your network and control
Sonny, man, I think you got it right. Mike Adamle, Mongo McMichael, Booker T. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with them.
With 9 craveable crab creations, like our new Crab Imperial, now just $15.99. Or crack into a pound of wild-caught snow crab, now only $19.99.
I like Dusty and Heenan together a little bit. They worked a couple times. They were fun. Dusty was funny. I miss the mothership on Saturday nights. I miss it so much. I'll never forget going. I just always remember like watching that a lot in the summertime when I was like off from school and just watching the mothership on 605. Good times, baby.
Get the shave you've been waiting for. Gillette Skin Guard.
Their Bernaise sauce here is the best in town. What do you do for fun?
Not this.
Oh, what am I into? Mostly Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Helps people find coverage.
Looks like a fun date, dude. You need to
Flo has it.
get out of there.
That's a whole thing, and she's right there.
Yeah, she's my ride. These dates, lame. He has pics of you on his phone.
Oh, is that Flo with a wig? I didn't even notice that was Flo. Ha! How funny.
Can a beer be brewed for great taste? Only 96 calories. With 0 grams of sugar? No sweat.
What if we had to watch what if there was only one 3-man commentary booth for every wrestling show in every promotion around the world, and it was Mike Adamle, Art Donovan, and Byron Saxton. That was it. And we had to watch every wrestling match with those 3 calling it. Look at all these tweets. Oh, you are so screwed, AEW. Just kidding. Don't freak out. Catherine, what's up? Where have you been? It may sound weird, but I think Elias and Kevin Owens would sound good on commentary. It doesn't sound weird. They'd be awesome on commentary. There's a lot of wrestlers right now that I think could totally handle that. Owens would be fantastic. We know he would. Is Corey Graves' jacket designed like that, or is it making funny? Is it a funny camera angle? Doesn't it look like the top half is white and his sleeves and his bottom are striped? Oh shit! Here's the funhouse. All right, y'all, funhouse time. Hello. Thank you, Bray. Oh, is this a compilation? Is this a montage? I want fresh content. Oh, you've been catching up on your swing classes? You mean parties? I think you mean parties. Yeah, and I can understand that your calves would hurt. I'm just kidding. Sore calves from working out sucks, because that's what you have to walk with.
People worship what they fear.
I don't worship what I fear. I fear spiders and cottage cheese, and I don't worship either one of those.
You want to see my secret?
Yeah, Bruce, I thought about that today. When, or not today, earlier when they mentioned Austin being at the MSG show. Fiend was first thing popped in my mind. He's been attacking legends. That would be great. Get Austin physical a little bit. They got to do it. Appropriate setting since we saw Austin stunning McMahon coming weeks prior. You can see the same thing with the Fiend. What happens here, guys? We get another DQ, or is Braun actually going to win this title? This is our main event. Check Twitter. But it's the main event. Oh my God, that's good, Joey. You got me dressed up as Bobby the Brain Heenan. That is fabulous. And you got me as Ray, too. I'm going to like the Ray one, but I'm retweeting Bobby. That is fucking great, dude. You guys are better at Photoshop than me. That's hilarious. God, that's really bright in my face there. Oh, what are you doing back there, buddy? Man, if this was 15 years ago, I'd be there. I'd be at Clash in Charlotte. Been to many shows in that building. Yeah, I agree. No, you can definitely do Taker. Taker's going to be there, too. Why can't he do both? Isn't Taker going to be on SmackDown? So what if they do Austin on Raw, Taker the next night? Holy shit. Imagine that. He does that all the time, the cat. Dude, get down. Why don't you get down? He's not going to get down. He'll stand there the whole time. Oh, you're going to Clash? Have fun, man. Wish I was there. Braun perm his hair. Do perms exist? Do people still get those?
That's the case. Seth Rollins, I'm certain, wouldn't be offended by it. You know, one of the things.
All right, here we go. Let's see if Braun can pull it off this time. What do we got? Both of them up here now? Mowed down poor AJ. That's what I predicted was going to happen between Strowman and Seth. I think during their tag match, Strowman's going to be doing this, running around the ring thing, and he's going to take Seth out accidentally. And Seth would be like, "What are you doing, man?" And then they're going to be mad at each other, and then they're going to fight about it. Something like that. All right, now we got two cats in the house here. Sorry, did I scare you? Yeah, it's one of those things, too, that's really awesome, but it's another one of those things that I hate about WWE, because when Strowman first did that running around the ring thing, was like knocking people down, that was awesome. But now he like has to do it in every match, and it's just like, okay, we get it. I think it would be more fun to pull something like that out of his hat every now and then in matches, or in big matches or something like that, not like every time.
Looking for the best place to pick up a pizza? Might we recommend the place with pizza in the name? Call Pizza Hut now to pick up a large 3-topping pizza.
Yeah, they're usually both they're not both here. It's really interesting having them both here.
You're awesome. Wow, thank you.
What's up, buddy?
You're the most must-see WWE superstar of all
talking to me. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I had a cats that were a little bit less up my ass, but it's nice too. They're cool.
Hey neighbor, see this sweet feature? Don't call it a spoiler, because it don't spoil a thing. Oh, look, you
Oh
don't
my
need to
God.
sell me. At CarMax, they buy all the cars. That's helpful. This is just taped on. For show. They'll still buy it.
Thank you. The proud son of an immigrant father, John Hernandez found his own path through a field of smoke. John found his fighting spirit in one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, a job few are willing to do. Modelo, food for those with a fight.
Yes, Caesar mounts. We had talked about that if Braun does win here, if you do some sort of a title for title thing, I mean, you're going to have these guys, what is it, 1, 2, 3 title defenses between the two of them with the tags, and then both their belts will be on the line in the main event. Or maybe not the main event. Kofi and Randy might main event. Because that's what they might do. That might be a good way to get Kofi and Randy in the main event, is to do the Rollins and Braun matches back to back. Have him work with Ziggler and Rude, and then right after the match, you go right into your title match. No break, no going to the back and coming back out. It just starts. They should. And then let Kofi and Randy Orton main event and let Orton win the title. Something like that. Yeah, commercials suck, but without them, we'd get no wrestling, so.
I'm sorry. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI.
Someone killed my niece. Hello?
Hey, Uncle Jack.
I'm gonna die. You can stop me before it happens. Don't let go. Rated R starts Friday.
Live sex celebration with Becky and Seth? I doubt it.
You can die for $10. Just find someone as special as my chicken and share 5 pieces, 2 sides, and 2 biscuits for just $10. You're gonna fall in love with my 2 can dine for 10 deal.
I know, yeah, they're my little merchandise pushers there, the two cats. I don't even really know what this show is that Austin does. They just do things? It's next on USA.
Tomorrow night, after a shocking reveal, I found the man who nearly ended his career. The questions for Roman Reigns continue. Find out what happens next.
I don't know, Greg. My pick was, I had kind of a list of Owens, McIntyre, and Andrade, and 2 of them are out now. So right now my pick is going to have to be Andrade. I think he would be the best. But Corbin is making me awfully nervous. But I think we're also going to have a babyface heel final. So I don't think it's going to be Corbin versus Andrade. It's going to have to be Corbin versus a babyface or Andrade versus a babyface. So we'll see.
AJ's always had the numbers game in his back pocket, but now we get to see just why we call AJ Styles one of the best to ever do this.
Strowman down to a knee now, trying to bring it back to both feet in the vertical base. Somehow break this sleeper hold. Drive Styles into the corner, but Braun Strowman is in trouble. Braun trying to catch his breath, coming in.
Ooh.
Nobody home as Styles moves out of the way, and now goes for the leg. Great move by the veteran.
Murphy would be a good choice too.
So dangerous, never missing the opportunity.
I don't want it to be Murphy and Corbin and then Corbin beats him. That would suck.
Of any sort, that's exactly what Styles just found. How do you take the power away from Strowman? You take out his base, take out his legs, and that's what Styles is doing here. You chop down the monster.
Vicious intent from Styles.
Oh, now a blow right to the back of the neck. Strowman's in trouble. Can Styles capitalize? And at the moment on his back, Braun Strowman is not nearly as imposing.
Oh yeah, I think I knew that. June was. I remember being home, seeing Michael Jackson's death on the news in '09.
AJ slipping and
That happened just 1 year before I moved here to California.
You have to ask yourself the question if Styles didn't have that slight misstep, had delivered the moonsault more perfectly.
Did I ever tell you my favorite Michael Jackson joke? It's, what does Michael Jackson like the most about 28-year-olds? There's 20 of them. That's my favorite Michael Jackson joke. Calf crusher on Braun? Yeah, like Braun's gonna tap. Trey, if Kofi surprises us and wins a Clash, I will not complain whatsoever. I just almost feel like now it's time. But I'd be happy to be wrong. I love Kofi. But it feels like my gut tells me it might be it for him. Rajiv, all we got was a Firefly Funhouse little montage, which is really all we need because, you know, don't overdo it with Bray. Just keep him out there every other week attacking people like he's been doing. We got Austin and MSG in a couple of weeks. Might be another good spot to bring him back in and attack someone. Oh, yeah, Greg, I was born in Michigan, lived there for the first 10 years of my life, and then spent 20 years in North Carolina, or a little more than that, and been out here for 10.
Maybe severely, maybe irreparably, but AJ Styles was not able to put the monster away with the calf crusher.
Strowman's up on his feet now.
Trying to get the blood flowing. Shoulder tackle by Strowman, flagging the United States champion. And now, AJ flipped inside out. The United States champion in trouble. Braun not able to sustain much momentum on the wounded leg. Looking for the power slam. Shoulder first goes Strowman.
No momentum.
Yeah, the official averted disaster.
I don't know. I don't think Austin's above doing anything like that with The Fiend. I think it would be good. I mean, maybe this. Why don't we make a compromise? Maybe Austin's in the ring cutting a promo. The lights go off. Bray Wyatt appears, and then Austin immediately attacks him. Gets in a tiny bit of offense, and then Bray overtakes him with the mandible claw. To where Austin Austin just didn't get, victimized. He just wasn't out there helpless and he got attacked. Austin realized what was happening, started fighting like only Stone Cold would and Stone Cold's instincts would, and then Bray overtakes him with the mandible claw. Maybe that would be better. But it would be a great thing for Bray. I think it would be awesome. AJ's got some weaponry with the referee's knocked out. Oh, man. They could also do some sort of a miscue here. Seth has got the chair. Maybe Seth runs out to help, and he fucks up. Costs Strowman the match, and then it just adds to their dissension. No, maybe not. There's a power slam, but no ref. Here comes the OC, which we know this will draw out Seth. Look at Strowman fighting back. Oh, good God. I would not want to take a chair shot from Braun. He swings that like a wiffle ball bat. I didn't hit him. Oh my God, they're going to DQ him. AJ's laughing. Oh Lord, AJ, you better stop laughing. God. No Seth. I thought for sure we'd get... Well, Seth will come out now. No, maybe not. We got 1 minute left. Well, Strowman just beat the hell out of everybody. I guess he doesn't need... Softball is in his blood, the Beast. You're right. Very true. Everything when I watched that piece on his parents was great. His dad is like a softball legend. I wonder if his dad ever played in the same league as Sid. I wonder if they ever met. Well, Strowman just laid waste to the entire OC. With no help from Seth, and the show is going off the air with the OC destroyed by one man. Bravo, WWE. Fuck that U.S. title. You got a title shot at the Clash, man. Who cares? You don't want that thing anyway. That thing would be in your way. That would be a nuisance. Oh, man. What do y'all give Raw tonight? What's the grade? Low C from Austin? Based on what we saw, I'm going with you. I'm going C minus, C plus. Not an F, not a D, not a B. Yeah. Well, lame DQ, lame finish. And pretty small audience in here tonight, but we still had fun. Raw is always fun. But I'm going to get out of here now because I got a ton of stuff to do. But this week will be busy. If I can scramble together some sort of a mic drop or any little video this week that I need to do, I will. Otherwise, I'll be up here Friday for the podcast. I'll be up here Saturday, live reacting to All Out. And then I'll be back up here a week from tonight, live reacting to Raw. And then once we get on the other side of Labor Day, things should really settle down on the channel and we'll be ready to march forward all throughout the fall. So thank you again to everybody for hanging out tonight. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the interaction. Thank you for the company. And thank you for joining me like you guys always do. You're awesome. I will talk to you in just a few days. See you soon. Peace.